that had been their home. Retired pastor Walter Schell says he, his wife, and their 2 dogs headed for the basement when he received a tornado alert by phone.
Missed where me and my wife staying about 4 inches. It went around.
I'm Jennifer King.
In Jerusalem,
never again is now.
Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu repeating his pledge to crush Hamas. He refuses to rule out sending the Israeli military into Rafah, although President Biden threatens to withhold more military aid from Israel if it does so. And now, some faculty members taking up the anti-Israel cause on America's college campuses.
On Thursday, UCLA faculty and staff held a campus rally calling for the school to disclose its investments and to divest from all military weapons production companies. The call to start disclosing and divesting is being heard on college campuses across the country, and some schools are disclosing. But Ty Gregory, CEO of the Jewish Community Relations Council, says disclosure will just lead to calls for divestment, and he says that risks harming Jewish students without actually changing the course of the fighting in Gaza. I'm Donna Warder.
And anti-Israel encampments at MIT, the University of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, and the University of Arizona are among the latest to be dismantled by police. On Wall Street, ahead of the opening bell this morning, Dow futures 80 points higher. The NASDAQ futures are up 49 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is a red alert for hard-working Americans who are tired of seeing their freedoms and retirement savings threatened by the globalist agenda. Wealth Protection Research is on a mission to find whistleblowers who are exposing these schemes. Real patriotic financial warriors like Jim Rickards and Porter Stansberry. They're not afraid to tell it like it is and fight back against the system. Now, with the 2024 election storming our way, your IRA and your 401k may be in the crosshairs. That's why we've compiled our 3 favorite ideas into our Election Protection Report. You definitely won't hear any of these in the mainstream news. Get your free copy of our Election Protection Report now. Just text TRUTH to 76626. Plus, today you'll also get a free gold investment kit from our sponsor, Augusta Precious Metals. Text TRUTH to 76626 now and get the free report and gold investment kit. The fight for your financial freedom is on. Text the word TRUTH to 76626.
Standard text and data rates may apply.
Talks on an international pandemic treaty headed down the home stretch.
After the devastation of the COVID-19 pandemic, leaders worldwide have vowed to do better next time, but they're still struggling to finalize a global plan. The World Health Organization is overseeing a 9th and final round of talks involving governments, advocacy groups and others to finalize a pandemic treaty. Guidelines for how the WHO's 194 member countries might stop future pandemics and better share scarce resources. A final draft of the treaty was meant to be ready Friday, but deep divisions exist, and experts warn there are virtually no consequences for countries that don't comply. I'm Charles Dillethesp.
Ukraine rushing enforcements to its northeastern Kharkiv region aimed at holding off a Russian attempt to breach local defenses. The tactical switch that Kiev officials have been expecting for weeks. News and analysis, townhall.com. All of a sudden, it seems that some House Democrats are very concerned about border security, or the lack thereof.
The party now argues that Democrats in competitive races can run on fixing the border, while painting Republicans as obstructionists for rejecting the Senate's bipartisan border deal. Republicans passed a border bill in the House last year, but the Senate declined to take it up. Republicans currently have a 217-213 majority in the House, and the fight for control over the chamber is seen as a toss-up. Meanwhile, Senate Democrats are teeing up a plan to hold a new vote on the bipartisan border deal, which failed in February, while the Biden administration is considering its own actions. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
They don't yet know what's been sickening and killing pelicans in some coastal California communities in recent weeks. Wildlife conservation officials say well over 100 of the birds have been found to be anemic, dehydrated, and weighing only half of what they should weigh. Newport Beach, California, among communities witnessing that troubling phenomenon. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder. and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. Let's have a listen. What does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. Yes, we made it.
We did indeed.
Overcast already.
I like it.
Sunny day, but tonight we got rain chances all day to rain tomorrow.
Dude, I am soaking it in. I have been baking.
I'm
all
loving
week.
that we're getting rain. Mm-hmm. We got baseball tonight. I'm a little worried about how that's going to get pulled off here. Tomorrow.
It always lines up just like that. There was nothing else happening this week. It was a dead week, and sun beats down. The second we need some clear weather. Yes, old man weather.
But
creeps in.
We will carry baseball for you tonight and tomorrow. It is video and radio. We do have both.
Yes, we do have video clearance.
Yes, we got full on, but we will have video. KSVPTV.com and the Got It Rocket channel. You'll be able to watch the baseball games. Best of 3 series. Mm-hmm. So they'll play a game tonight at 6. They'll play again at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and then right after that, if necessary, for game 3.
Yeah. It feels wrong that we had to wait to find out if we got video rights for a game that literally I could throw a Frisbee from my house and hit. Like that, those games are happening about 100 feet from where I live.
Yeah.
But it just, I understand.
Well, it's a whole rigmarole.
But I don't like it. It feels wrong. It feels icky that we have to ask for permission to film in our own backyard.
The world contains many of these rigmaroles. Mm-hmm. And so this is just one of many.
Yes.
Many.
The rigmaroliest, some would say.
I got a few more for you, too, I'll tell you here in a minute. But,
why you gotta be rigmarolling me? It's a weekend, doggone it. I don't need to be rigmaroled.
That's right. I'm working for the weekend.
Your wife just found out what rigmarolling actually is.
You know, it was fun. It was a weekend we went to go see Bananas.
The Bananas,
Bananas.
Yeah, because it was the same weekend I got rickrolled by Bowling for Soup.
And if you don't know what rickrolling is, I just type in Origins of Rickroll on YouTube, and there's an amazing 10-minute video of the whole origin story of rickrolling and how it started, and the basically history of rickrolling from the time of Rick Astley being relevant to today's rickrolling.
You got to imagine it's bittersweet for him, I'm sure, but he's got to be thankful for the rickroll. I mean, it sort of put him on the map.
It's kind of re-energized his career 10 times over.
It fully, he never really took off, from that 1 or 2 songs he had back in the 80s.
Well, he was big with those 2 songs in that time, and he could have been the flash in the pan and goes off, but because of rickrolling, he literally gets jobs and things to this day. I don't know, almost every week I see a video of him guest singing for somebody else on some concert or something. Yeah.
Before rickrolling, the only reason I knew who Rick Astley was because of the show I Love the 80s.
Oh, okay.
Because they did a bit where they were talking about everybody heard Rick Astley on the radio, and they were like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
And then it was Hal Sparks who did the impression, I sound like a big black man, but I'm just a small white guy. And that's all I ever knew of Rick Astley to that point.
I was fortunate enough to live in the time of Rick Astley and when he was relevant, and that's exactly true. We never saw, till we saw the MTV video, we're like, wow. And then we see, this looks like a 17-year-old white dude. Why does he sound like Barry White?
The White Barry.
And he looked like a kid. I'm like, does this guy even shave? I mean, he literally looked.
And so do I.
Like him and Doogie could have been in classmates together. That's how it looked.
Doogie. Which that also needs to be addressed. Who names your child Doog? Like, Doug, I understand.
Well, it's Doogie.
Doogie? Doogie's worse. Because, like, what is that short for? Douglas?
Yeah. I guess when you're...
Dewdrop? What?
But I guess when you're like a 15-year-old MD, people look over the Doogie part. Because he walks in the room and he's smarter than you, and I guess...
Like,
you call your name whatever you want.
I'm trying to imagine the backstory where his parents just such goof-offs that he rebelled and became this, like, superstar doctor.
Parents, to be honest, I don't remember everything from Doogie Howser. They address all the parents and all that. I'm pretty sure in the show. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't watch the show religiously as a kid. I just remember Doogie. Every once in a while, you turn, there's Doogie doing Doogie. I didn't watch it. Like it was a different time for me because I was a young kid and I didn't watch series to its completion. You just turned it on whenever it was on.
I was like 4. Yeah. So yeah, different time for me too. Totally different time.
But like the thing of binge watching and watching that wasn't a thing. You just caught TV when TV was on. Didn't matter if you were in the middle of the story or not. You just caught it whenever it was on.
It bothers me how much smarter my son is at 5 versus how smart I was at 5.
Right.
Like yesterday, he literally, as I was picking him up from school, he used the phrase Miss Nicole and I.
Ooh.
Yeah, he didn't say me and Miss Nicole, his teacher. He said Miss Nicole and I. I was like, who are you?
Look at you, Grandma.
I know. Who are you? What happened to, like, 2 weeks ago you were babbling and now there's this?
Exactly.
You're using proper grammar? What?
Yep.
Yeah, so I got a little doogie on my hands.
He's a boy.
Uh-huh.
You will do something in the near future that'll remind you that he's a little boy still.
Oh, no. He does those things all the time, but it's just...
But I'm just telling you, you're okay. He's going to have moments of, whoa. But rest assured, he'll go back to, I'm a child boy that
I don't have a young Sheldon on my hands. Not quite. We're not there yet.
Yes. No. I do want to put actually a couple of events on your radar here. On Monday, May 13th, voters are encouraged. We've got events happen. Actually, it's multiple events.
Voters are discouraged. You never hear that.
We have multiple events happening Monday night. Make of that what you will. But on Monday, May 13th, at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center, they're having a candidates meet and greet and mingle event. And that will be starting, doors open at 6:30. And they're going to have meet and greets with the Senate forum candidates, state Senate forum candidates, and everything else. So meet and greet from 6:30 to 7. Then they're going to have a forum debate Senate contest with the Senate contested primary races. I'll get that out. District 27 and District 32 races. They're also going to have a meet and greet mingle for candidates from House primary race contests, House District 59. Also meet and greet mingle for County Commission contested races, County Commission District 2 and District 3. And so all that's happening at the Convention and Civic Center beginning at 6:30 Monday.
Wow.
And that event is sponsored by Cliff Pirtle and the Conservative Voters of Chavez County. The event will also be live streamed and recorded by Spoken Words of New Mexico. But if you want to meet and greet and mingle and talk, you're probably better to be in the building. But if you can't, it's there. I do also want to tell you that also that night, the Republican Party of Chavez County is having their monthly meeting, and they're having a meet and greet candidate forum as well. That's at Grace Community Church at 6 p.m. on Monday. So
you can really get your fill of forums.
I imagine, I imagine the candidates are going to be splitting back and forth between the two. That's why I'm kind of saying I'm not sure who's going to be where or what or when, or are they going to be at both. So my advice to you is try to check in with both to keep up to date, especially if you're still in your deciding on who you want to vote for these contested races.
Get suited up, hit up the Republican meeting at Grace first, and then make your way to the convention center where the forum of forums is basically going to be, where it's like 3 different forums at once, so you can get your fill of forums.
But definitely with the primaries coming up here, general election, in the fall, pay attention to the people you're voting for. Get involved to these events on Monday night. Listen, ask questions, hear what they have to say. So you're voting for the people, especially, and I'm telling you, because you see, there's 2 events. There's a lot of back and forth, particularly in the Republican Party right now. You know how that gets worked out? You, the voter. You, the voter, fixes that. So get involved. Go there. Support the candidate you believe. So So you know what's going on. So, especially in this world right now, because like I said, I'll say it, they're eating their own right now a little bit. And so you, the voter, needs to pay attention. So.
The only thing is, now I heard everything you just said. What I didn't hear, refreshments served? Light refreshments?
Nothing's been said of
See,
refreshments.
they're too conservative. They're not even revealing.
That being said, maybe I don't want to say yes and then there be none.
Okay,
but
so
there's
here's
no
what you
mention
do.
of refreshment.
Here's what you do.
Yes.
You go get yourself a 40, a paper bag, bring your own refreshments, and be that guy. I'm just here for the forums.
Yeah, I think we have enough of them already. We don't need to invite more.
Any advice that begins with "go get yourself a 40,"
yes.
probably not advice you should take.
Yeah,
just a suggestion.
But definitely, Monday here, got a lot going on. I'd say try to make plans to get to both here because you're going to want as much information as possible when you head into that voter booth, particularly in this season where we got a lot of people. And to be honest, you might agree with multiple of these candidates, but you're gonna have to separate what the differences between the three. So or 4 or 2 or whatever is many in each race here. So definitely pays attention, please, because some important decisions. And guess what? You, the voter, are the one that can fix this. Don't listen to everyone else telling you your votes don't count here and that. Get out there and vote for the people you believe are going to represent you.
That's right.
And that's the only way we fix this. So, anyway, enough of my soapbox. We do need to get interviews going because guess what? We got baseball tonight, and it's political ad season, and my breaks are, boy, howdy heavy.
Yes, sir.
So I need to
It's a good time to be in radio or print media.
So I got to shut my hole so we got time to play all these commercials. We are going to replay our interview we had with Guy Malone and Elaine Mayfield talking about Towel Day, which is coming up here May 25th. You're like, what's Towel Day? Stay up and listen. We'll learn you on that. Sheriff Mike Harrington scheduled to join us in the 8 o'clock hour, give us an update on what's happening in and around the county through the Sheriff's Department. And Roswell Public Library, their monthly visit time. Come give us an update on what's happening at the library. So we'll do that in the 9 o'clock hour this morning. Before we do any of that, the weather, which is in the news now because we got rain and stuff.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Temperatures will stay fairly cool this weekend. We have a low developing over our area. Mix of sun and clouds and mid-70s today. We could get a shower or thunderstorm overnight, and we're in the upper 50s. Looks like a good chance of rain and thunderstorms rolling through on Saturday, and we'll stay in the upper 60s. Lingering shower Saturday night. We're back to sunshine on Sunday, low 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 57 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 47%. Winds out of the north, 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy, 73 for a high today. Winds out of the northeast, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, they're talking a 60% chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the evening. Mostly cloudy. Expect an overnight low of 58 degrees with southeast winds, 10 to 15 miles per hour. They expect less than 1/10 of an inch of rain tonight, unless we get a thunderstorm. We're looking at a 60% chance at rain for your Saturday as well. Mostly cloudy. Expect a high of 68 degrees tomorrow. Southeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. They expect between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch of rain tomorrow. Tomorrow night, 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 58 degrees. Southeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. For you Sunday, sunny. Mostly sunny. 83. South winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 for the afternoon, and sunny and 84 when you head back to work and school on Monday. Back into the 90s they say low 90s by Tuesday next week there, and then might dip back in the 80s there later in the week. But that's what they're saying right now. But good chances of rain tonight, tomorrow, and tomorrow night as well here. So knock on wood, hopefully. Don't forget letter carrier food drive. Leave your food out for your letter carriers tomorrow. When your letter carriers come through your neighborhoods to deliver the mail, they will be picking up your canned foods. All of that goes to Harvest Ministries, which is your food disbursement center. Really, if you've heard of Roadrunner Food Banks, they're the agent. Basically, New Mexico, Roswell's agent, like Roadrunner Food Banks for many part is for here in Roswell is Harvest Ministries. So they will be the ones that kind of collect all the food and get it to the different people that need it. But the Postal Service has been doing this for forever. So please leave some canned goods out, non-perishable food items. If you can't leave them out at your mailbox, you're more than welcome to drop your food off at the post office on Pennsylvania. They've got a set-up box there for you can. So if you got a P.O. box or you have, or you just don't feel comfortable leaving food out at your mailbox, you can drop it off at the box they have there at the post office on Pennsylvania. All right, 7:20, quick break, and we're going to play an interview with Guy Malone and Elaine Mayfield talking about Towel Day. That's up next.
Jim Townsend is a strong, proven leader, committed, a man of integrity, and a forward thinker. I have no doubt that Jim will serve in the best interest of District 54 citizens, as well as be the voice we need in Santa Fe. My name is Samira Esquivel. I am a wife, a mother, and professional. Please join me and vote for Jim Townsend on June 3rd.
This ad is paid for by the committee to elect Jim Townsend, Nora Vasquez, treasurer.
It's been a long, cold, boring winter, and children in neighborhoods everywhere are waiting to hear those magical words. The pool's open! Summer weather has finally rolled around. Make sure your pool is ready. Preparing and maintaining your pool for summer the right way will create a season full of smiles instead of headaches and make your life much easier. Soft Swim, the chlorine-free sanitizing system by BioGuard, only at Mays Lumber Company.
You can count on Mays Lumber Company.
You're invited! Car Affair 2024, presented by the Cars Club of Carlsbad. Saturday, June 1st at the beach in Carlsbad. Early registration is Friday with a cruise. Then Saturday, car registration starts at 8 a.m. and ends at 10:30 a.m. Enjoy music, food, car-related swap meet, a 5K run, door prizes, and a special Try 5 Chevys area. To register or for more information, visit carsclubofcarlsbad.com.
Artesia General Hospital's Rehabilitation Center is here to help you recover and get back to the activities you love. Rehabilitation services include physical, occupational, and speech therapy, all led by experienced, licensed therapists. From symptom management to patient education, customized home exercise programs, and family support, Artesia General Hospital's integrated approach to rehabilitation is designed to facilitate your best possible recovery so you can get back to work, back to play, and back to life. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/rehab or by calling 575-736-8174.
Senator Greg Nybert is known as a conservative Republican who is effectively fighting for us in Santa Fe. In the last session, Greg Nybert helped stop harmful legislation that would penalize New Mexico businesses with outrageously expensive financial burdens. He knows small businesses do not need more regulation. Greg Nybert helped defeat progressive attempts to make it illegal for New Mexicans to own certain types of firearms and firearm accessories. He knows it's important to protect our rights. During his legislative career, Greg has been responsible for stopping numerous anti-oil and gas bills. He knows it is important to protect our jobs. Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate for District 27 who has a proven record of protecting us from big government intrusion. Greg Nybert stands for the rights of the people and pledges to continue his work. Please vote for Greg Nybert for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. In fact, they're downright funky. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660.
Mayday! 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 Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Trade in and trade up to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for thousands less during May Trade Days at the all-new Roswell Ford. The all-new Roswell Ford has new management and a whole new attitude. And this week, any trade goes. Stuck in your loan or lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth, regardless of make or miles. Get huge savings on new Fords with rates as low as 0% for 66 months with no payments till July 4th. Plus, we have a great selection of low mileage, one owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10 grand. Don't settle for a low quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. 1515 per thousand finance on select models with approved credit.
It's possible to turn peanut butter into diamonds. Peter Pan tried it with his buddy Skippy, but they couldn't do it in a jiff. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in. And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, we have Elaine Mayfield and Guy Malone back with us.
Hi.
Wearing their
towels.
I'll say towel day hat, but they're wearing their towels today. So we'll just go towels here today. But good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Good.
Good. Glad to have you guys back. And, of course, we're excited. Of course, I know we're not trying to scare nobody, but we're a little over a month away from UFO Festival and Galacticon and that whole weekend of events and everything here. So I would like to say maybe we're going to do a little pre-gaming for that.
Correct.
Absolutely.
May 24th, 25th, and the 26th weekend here with Towel Day.
Right.
So when you first presented me, I'm like, what's Towel Day? And then the last thing I thought of was Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm thinking,
right on.
something maybe getting people into working out and carrying. I didn't know. I was like, I'm kind of curious. So I said, all right, let me see what this Towel Day is all about. And I'm like, oh. Now, I saw the movie Hitchhiker's Guide years ago. I've never read the book, so I'm a little naive.
I'm with you on that. I have not read it.
I'm a little naive on the lore and all the story and I mean, I have a gist from the movie, but like any other thing, the book goes into way more details, has way more plots and things that the movies generally don't even address or skim over in. So
you're right.
I'm probably missing a bunch of the story by not reading the book.
Let me just start quickly by saying that Roswell Galacticon is kind of hosting or
sister partner
or What we've wanted to do is to have more things than just July 4th weekend.
Yeah.
And so we've kind of done some things and
kind of wet the beak a little bit. Get you excited.
Satellite event.
Around the earth. A satellite event.
Satellite. Maybe a steampunk ball in the fall would be great. Yeah. This is a sci-fi cosplay gathering in May.
Well, and if you look at Roswell and you look at the thing, the life and everything, and obviously the alien stuff, by default makes Roswell kind of a unofficial science fiction
Mecca
or capital.
You're right.
Exactly.
It does.
So
it does.
Let's embrace that and let's have some fun with that and let's celebrate good things and why not? Because really, Towel Day is an event because this is why the library's getting involved and the schools are getting involved. We want kids reading. We want them to find the things to get them excited to read. And we're like, hey, what got us excited? Books like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, places that take you on adventures. And that's really what all this is we're just fostering the imagination, giving people a chance to have fun and live life outside of the mundane world of adulting.
You did a wonderful job before the break of describing it. What is Towel Day? Douglas Adams, the author.
Yeah.
He is the author of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and then there's more books. It's known as the Hitchhiker's Trilogy.
Okay.
The second book will be creating an immersive experience.
And he's wrote quite a few things for mainstream too that people don't realize. I was digging in the Wikipedia,
Good for you.
and like one of the last things he did was Monty Python. When their last, he was writing sketches for Monty Python. Yeah. He's British, obviously.
Yes,
so his
very.
humor probably went in that direction. But yeah, look at his. If y'all get bored, look at his Wikipedia. You'd be like, I didn't realize that was him. We all know from the Hitchhiker's Guide
to the Galaxy.
But he's an author, he's a writer, he's a creator, and he pops up
pretty
in other
prolific
circles too.
if he died young.
Yeah, and that's the other thing got me. That's why I said, man, he was only 51 when he died, or 49 or wherever it was. Yeah, I was like, that's young. I was like, something went, and it turns out it was a heart attack.
Yeah, I love that you researched everything else he's done. The reason this is even a quote holiday is that his own fandom after his his death there, his birthday was about 2 weeks later, May 25th.
So this is why we do it on the 25th.
It's kind of like the UFO festival. We don't get to pick the day of the crash. We got to follow it around the holiday.
Well, and this is internationally celebrated.
Very much so.
And,
yes.
But here's the part I didn't quite get. What's the tau represent? Is that in the story?
Yes.
And that's where I'm a little naive.
If you're hitchhiking through the universe, just to set it up, Earth gets blown up in chapter 1 of the book.
Yeah,
spoiler
alert.
But the universe is a much safer place if you carry your towel with you, and there are many reasons for this. Allow me to excerpt
Yes,
here.
educate me on this part, because this is
the
where I'm a
most
little naive.
useful thing an interstellar hitchhiker can carry, partly because it has great practical value. You can wrap it around your head for warmth as you bound across the cold moons of Jaglin Beta. You can lie out in the brilliant marble sanded beaches of Sandranus 5, inhaling the heady sea vapors. It also has very much psychological value, because if you are seen carrying your towel with you, people will just assume that you've got your act together, that you've probably got a toothbrush, that you've got deodorant.
Makes sense.
And then if you just happen to have lost one of those things, you're going to be, oh, hey, apparently I've lost my toothbrush. And you're going to be, well, you're such a hoopy fruit. Here, take mine. I've got an extra. So if ever someone calls you, Mike, a hoopy fruit who really knows where his towel is, there is no higher compliment in the universe.
So that is, so if, especially, the weekend of the 24th, 25th here.
Right.
If someone gives you that, that is high praise.
High praise. That is, internationally, it is towelday.org. And as you said, it mentions Douglas Adams.
Yeah.
Here's what to do in the world. You got Netherlands over here, USA. Roswell Galacticon presents roswelltowelday.org. And it is the fandom decided to honor Douglas Adams. The towel is a reference to the Hitchhiker's Guide, as you said.
Yeah, and now that makes sense, because it kind of shows that you're in the know, but also an upstanding citizen in the galaxy.
Yeah, when I came back here, when I moved back in 2015, I carried a little towel on my waistband in the Stellar, and the coffee barista, he's like, dude, you're doing towel day, aren't you? Well, Elaine's experience, people know this. There's a fandom out there, and it's a huge phenomenon. We're just giving them a place to gather now.
Well, and it gives people a sense of belonging. I think it's no different than like the Jeep Club with the wave and the duckies and ducking people. It's all tradition stuff, and so this is part of that fun, and this is a great way to do it in a positive way. And again, we're going to focus on what Roswell's doing here in a minute, but we're kind of, it really is a fun way to get families excited and give them something to have a passion about. We especially with kids, you're trying to find their niches, what they love, what they're into, what they're not
Science
into.
fiction cosplay at the convention center on a Saturday.
And especially if mom and dad are into science fiction and stuff, you want to, your goal one is to get your kids as engrossed and involved as much as you want. Because let's face it, all of us at the end of the day want our kids to be a little bit of us. You know what I mean?
Nerdy.
And
little mini-me.
And so for a lot of folks, that's your world. Whether it's Hitchhiker's Guide or Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever your niche passion is, celebrate that. And yes, we're using Hitchhiker's Guide as the platform, but at the end of the day, we're just celebrating all things
sci-fi,
science fiction,
it's very inclusive. You hit a nerve and you didn't realize it. You've watched the movie, but within the community, there's purists, and it creates a little bit of, if you haven't read the book, you're not real.
Yeah.
And Towel Day Ambassador Yvette Keller, who is coming, it's an annual title, but once you receive it, you are one for life. We have 3 of them coming now for this event, but she told me no. If they only read the movie, that's fine. They're in. If a kid only saw something animated, they're in the community. You have to be nice. Kindness matters. So there's no pure, and that inclusiveness goes well beyond.
Absolutely.
Because as a local holiday now, it's inclusive of Lord of the Rings, Star Trek. Bring all your cosplay realms together.
Yeah, bring the world of the and it just reminds us to the universe you live in. Sometimes you can create your own and do your thing, and that's kind of and let's face it, sci-fi is broad, is a very broad category full of very niche, and that's just that you could be in sci-fi, but there's facets of sci-fi that you have no knowledge of or no history of, and people are like, well, you're not a sci-fi person. It's like, I just was not into Star Trek or whatever that particular facet is. But you hit them with Star Wars, or you hit them with Hitchhiker's Guide, or you hit them with a Marvel thing, and all of a sudden they sound like you can't shut them down. You know what I mean? That's right. That's it. But that's the sci-fi world, and that's why the cons and these things are so cool, because it's a gathering. And you know what? yes, most everyone's going to be fans of Hitchhiker's Guide. That's obviously the thing here. But it's back to what you said. If you love the universe of fantasy and sci-fi and creating worlds and whole cultures and universes, doesn't matter if it's Wakanda or you know, the universe or Narnia. It doesn't matter. You know, this is to celebrate all of that.
Roswell's still the mecca for that genre.
Yeah.
If you're into any of that stuff, you've wanted to make a side trip to Roswell.
Yeah.
I've heard from people over the years, oh, I really love, or I want to come to Roswell, like an event in like DC or Florida. They have UFO conferences.
Yeah.
But I'm not coming in July because it's 104 degrees.
Now, that's a valid
So
point.
I've wanted for a long time to have a sci-fi that would attract that same
sounds
crowd.
like rationale from a guy that wears a towel all day,
right? You can wrap it around your head for warmth. Now, there is the ravenous whatever bug blaster beast that it is so daft, it assumes that if it can't see you or you can't see it, there you go, sorry, that it can't see you. So this will keep me from getting eaten in some parts of the
Protects
universe.
you from the stupid.
That's right. That's right. You can't fix stupid, but you
know
can wrap
what?
a towel around
I think that's a good advice, just to carry the towel out for everybody.
You can wet it for hand-to-hand combat.
That's right.
It's handy.
You've never been in a towel fight in the gym, you know.
Steve Urkel is the master.
Oh, yeah.
Look that up. Steve Urkel towel fight.
I remember gym class and taking many a welt to the backside because I got a towel whoop in the buttocks. And vice versa. I dished out a few myself.
Yeah, sure.
But,
Good for you, man.
Absolutely. But so as far as Towel Day here for Roswell, it is a 3-day event. And it really kicks off May 24th at the Roswell Public Library. They're going to.
You're right.
That's a free event. We want to encourage families, kids. I think the schools
Yeah,
are
it
going to be.
started as one day, Towel Day.
Towel
and
Day, that's-
everybody's jumping on the bandwagon.
Now it's Towel Weekend.
Yeah. Yes.
Which is a good
The
thing.
increasingly inaccurately named RoswellTowelDay.org.
Well, and
It's
like
a
you said,
trilogy now.
Well, and in all
yes.
fairness, you know, it is international. You can get to pick the day. It is Towel Day, even though, you know, we're
No.
turning it into Towel Weekend. But it really is, it's a lot of fun. So Friday at 3 o'clock, it kind of all officially kicks off at the
Correct.
library here.
Yes.
And so that's where you're going to have invite
3 Towel Day ambassadors, hopefully. Definitely
Okay.
one doing a reading from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Excellent.
And she's sort of very professional MC that does this genre for a living. So I
She has a
encouraged
really
her-
good way of telling the story.
Well, I
Yeah.
encouraged her. Well, you know
And
what? It's
she's
a
an
reader.
author, too.
Yeah, it's a reader's holiday. Why don't you tell these kids how your love of reading led to what you do for a living now? So she might take that approach, and
Good
our
deal.
cosplayer will be there.
And give a shout out to, is it Rosie? Was that
Yeah, Rocio put it all
at
together.
the library.
And
She's
Diana's
excited.
helping
She
now.
wants to encourage students and especially
High
older
schoolers,
ones,
high schoolers to come.
to the library.
Yeah.
That you know.
And
they
here's
don't.
the thing too, you know, if you want to come in costume and things, and
Absolutely.
please,
That's what they're
obviously,
doing. It's a
family
costume
friendly,
contest
family
at the
friendly.
library.
So think when you think of your
Modest,
costumes, you know,
yeah.
let's not go with sexy this
Well,
or
we have
sexy that.
we have it
get
listed
the-
as modest.
yeah,
Modest.
But you know, think about it. If you feel a little embarrassed standing in front of a 4-year-old child wearing that, then maybe you should leave that.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
But that being said, come make fun and
It's
have
the
fun
last
with
day
it.
of school for that matter,
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
So
Kids will
they're
be-
invited. The library has invited the schools. I can't officially say the schools are doing anything,
deal.
but they're
But
invited
they're
to
part
carry
of
a towel,
Yeah.
to do modest cosplay, and then show up at the library to be judged in a costume contest.
And then, of course, by 3 o'clock, kids will be getting out of school by then. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's early release on the last day. So,
Hope.
you know, mom and dad, when you're picking the kids up and all that, bring them to the library first thing and come meet some of the cosplayers. Come hear the stories. Come get them excited. And have some fun. And it's all completely free on Friday.
On the library.
Yeah,
you,
the
even
library
get
is
you
free.
even get to drink the library's own version they made of the Pan-Galactic Gargle Blaster.
Oh,
It's the
okay.
equivalent of being hit in the head with a brick wrapped around a lemon. But theirs will be a little less potent at the library.
Yeah, you want the hard stuff. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely come have fun and kind of get and maybe get introduced. Maybe if you're a little little naive to the lore and the stories, because let's face it, if you have a modicum knowledge of Hitchhiker's Guide, it will make it easier to navigate and understand all the lore and the talking and the different events. Because
You can check out the books at the library as well.
Exactly.
They got them
too.
ordered.
Yeah, and
Extras.
so if you never read it, go check it out today maybe and get work started on it. Maybe by the 24th you have it read or at least a good hunk of it read. And
Yeah,
you can,
it's a trilogy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. The
That's what I'm
Hitchhiker's
saying.
Guide to the Galaxy.
But I've seen people that literally read so fast sometimes. They're like, I read War and Peace last night. I'm like, what?
Well, yeah.
It would take me a month to read that thing.
The increasingly inaccurately named trilogy, because there's 4, 5, 6 books in the trilogy now.
Well, and that's the whole thing of Hitchhiker's Guide. Everything's not what it seems.
That's
you know what I
right.
mean?
You're right.
It's like you say there's 7, it's like, but, or they say this, that's the whole thing. Appearances aren't what they are. What, you look at one way and think it's one thing, you look at another angle, it's something different. That's all in the lore of the story.
Spoiler alert. Turns out the white mice are experimenting on us.
Exactly.
Wow, who knew?
It's a great movie, and I'm sure the book is too, because like I said, I don't have that background, where it forces people to think that you're not the star of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's a term that's kind of more modern. You see it on TikTok and say, look, this person thinks he's the star of this movie. And I get it, that makes sense. It kind of reminder, it's like the world or the universe and everything is way bigger than you. And there's a lot more going on, and you're just a blip in that sucker. And even though your whole universe is staring you in the face, the whole universe is you're just a little micro fleck in that thing.
That's right.
That's why I carry a towel.
Yeah.
The universe is a much safer place if you carry a towel wherever you go.
But Friday everything will kick off at 3, and then at 7 o'clock we want to invite everyone over to Peppers for a
This is our icebreaker that we do for Galacticon.
Yeah,
We're just
kind of
carrying
a mingle. A lot of the people that are involved hang out and socialize and
no freebies, all on you.
Yeah. It used to be on Galacticon we do cosplay karaoke as a roll-in. As this goes on, we might make the roll-in night Bogan poetry.
We still are dealing with COVID prices at restaurants, and you got to pay $25 for a hamburger.
Exactly.
So you want that.
No free. Friday night's on you.
Friday night's on you. But if you want to join us, we're inviting people to show up.
Come and meet you. Like you said, you'll get to meet some of the people that are
Day ambassadors
exactly.
rolling in on Friday.
People doing the panels, people that are actually participating as vendors and things as part of this event. That's you get to meet and greet and be honest, they're all here because they have an interest in the world.
Right.
And so you get to talk shop a little bit with all these folks.
Yeah, and it's kind of a carryover from our Galacticon that we do that.
Yeah.
And everybody enjoys it.
So if you want to come steampunk, go ahead.
Yes, we're all inclusive.
Absolutely.
We are inclusive.
Come as you are, or come as you want to be.
Dress for the job you want.
Exactly. Exactly.
Why am I in HR with a Catwoman outfit? I don't know. Old meme.
That's right. We'll have to, sometimes, that's another meme.
Should have said Batman.
I like Catwoman.
Well, it depends. The question is which Catwoman. That tells you how old you are. If you're saying Julie Newmar, then you're probably all right. But if you're more Holly Berry,
Julie Newmar.
She's awesome. I'm not a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman fan.
Well, I always look at the first one's always the best because if there's a first one, it was so good that there's more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the first one wasn't that good, then we'll need more of them. So I give the ode to the original.
Super.
But y'all do you. But anyway, so 7 o'clock, that'll be Friday night at Peppers. And then Saturday morning, that's where everything shifts over to the convention center for a more like, I can say, a con-like day.
Yeah.
Where, if you're into Comic Cons and thing, that day will be a con-like day where vendors and panel discussions and cosplay and
with
all
a lot more fun.
Yes, exactly.
Just come and there's a building full of activities. Pick the ones that you most are attracted to and get to it.
One of the problems I hope to solve with this is a lot of times we go to an event and you walk around the vendor hall for 30 minutes and then you're done.
Right.
Maybe you bought something, maybe you didn't, but you've seen it all. So we made out a schedule to where it behooves you to hang around.
Yeah,
because
there's stuff going on
There's a
throughout the day.
cosplay workshop at one where our cosplayer describes, at some time where she describes how she made her costume accurate to this novel.
So if you want to get into it, that's going to be valuable. But if you're already into it and looking for tips and tricks to kind of enhance, then...
Hour later, there's a costume contest judged. Hour later, there's Vogan poetry, the third most... worst poetry in the universe. It's a form of torture. So the high school kids on Saturday, we're going to be reading Vogan poetry. If you don't get booed, you're doing it wrong.
Oh.
And that's a big part of the
something
books.
original.
So come expecting to be...
tortured with poetry.
I was going to say not entertained, but...
As I wrote here, you have to endure it.
Yeah.
Endure it.
Yeah.
And then you can get philosophical with the Tau Day ambassadors. They describe what is a Tau Day ambassador. That's a workshop. The community votes on them. They upload a video.
Okay.
And they are now Once you are one, Yvette is 2023. Ken, I have not met yet. He's 2024s, but like I said, you are one for life.
So
you don't lose the title.
Almost like a Miss America type thing, but for Towel Day. Like you're a Towel Day ambassador.
You never lose the title.
Right,
That's
you
the thing.
keep the crown for the whole time.
Unless you resign.
I'm sorry. I went to Bounty paper towels. I'm no longer part of the Towel Day tradition. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we got a picture from the new Towel Day guy, and he's got his towel on entering a TARDIS.
He
So
owns
there
a
you
TARDIS.
go.
He's a big guy in their fan club in Texas. Lisa, her outfit's a Star Trek, the classic blue dress.
I love that because I think that way, and but it goes back to that inclusion thing we're talking about. You know,
and nobody's ever seen one science fiction movie in their life. You know,
exactly.
You're fans of many things.
I love to see like someone doing Jurassic Park with a towel. You know what I mean? Like see one of the people running through. There's a towel right there.
Well, actually, I looked at the holiday calendar. May 26th is Dracula Day. Do we not have a 3-day festival in the making? Here already?
Yeah.
Years to
Well,
Roswell Talk Days, Hoopy Days.
In all fairness, though, because Dracula's is much of generational culture too. You know, depending on when you grew up and how you grew up,
who's James Bond
imaging of Dracula is. Is it more of the Bram Stoker type thing, or is it more of the traditional book, or is it more the actual historical man and that stuff, and not so much of the, you know, Count Dracula or Count Chocula look to him? You know?
The whole vampire craze 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. And that was in waves, too. And then I think we had vampire phase. Vampire and werewolf phase. And then it went to zombie phase.
Oh, God.
And
here's the joke on the vampires. So you also have the one on Sesame Street. Well, he doesn't count.
Yes.
Actually, he does.
He should count the most because he technically he does.
Can he count to 42?
But ooh, yes, you'll hear a lot of 42 over the course of the weekend.
There's a lot of little Easter eggs from this whole thing that are passed throughout the convention, and like 42, like Vogan poetry. That's all through the book.
Sure,
you know?
but that thing that excites me is in a movie that's full of Easter eggs. That's where the true. It's like. Yeah, you know the level 1 Easter eggs. Do you know the level 7 Easter eggs? That's what I'm talking.
That's the crowd we're bringing in. They're going to nerd it out with each other, and I'm here for it. I'm going to watch them, but they know way more than I do.
But that's the fun part about it too, and you get to see it. So it's really an all-day affair. You start at 10 with the opening ceremonies and everything, and then you can hang out pretty much all day. With the different things going on, like you said, the Vogan poetry, that's going to start like an hour after we're getting open up here, so that's a little earlier in the day. But if you want to stick around for some of the costume and the costume and towel competition, that's going to be close to 4:30 later in the afternoon here.
There's something scheduled pretty much every hour.
Yeah. And then, of course, in between all of that, they're having these different panel discussions, these different opportunities to meet and greet some of the panel speakers and guests, vendors and things. Obviously, if you're shopping for collectibles and stuff, we got you covered. They're going to have a bunch of vendors.
Now, we have 10 of our Galacticon vendors that have been loyal to us through the years that will be set up as well, including a towel. A towel
someone
maker.
who makes towels.
And so the collectibles and stuff will be all across all
they're
facets
tried
of science
and true
fiction.
Galacticon vendors.
Yeah, if you're looking, if you're a comic book person, you're a Superman or because some people, I get it. You know, you get into cons and like a con is a comic book thing for comic books, and you're not wrong. That was the original started. But guess what?
Right.
Yeah.
It
now
got
they
more
have
popular.
anime.
It got more bigger. The thing you wanted to happen happened.
Then people started dressing like the comic books, and wait a second.
And now a Comic Con, particularly the San Diego Comic Con, is now pretty much the official release place for anything science fiction, whether
Marvel
it's a game,
and DC
movies, television, any platform.
You can have an anime con,
Let's
you can have a
bring it to
steampunk
Roswell,
con,
though.
you can have all of that.
Yeah.
And so looking at all the categories, we decided that we are probably a sci-fi con.
I would say that's a good
general
description. But like I said, this thing will have facets for everything. But if you are the purist of purists with the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy
You're a hoopy
world,
prude who really knows where your towel is.
We got enough inside baseball for you that you're going to love it. And
that evening is capping it off.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the dinner.
Yeah, talk a little bit about the dinner and
Well,
everything.
we mentioned the number 42, just random factoid. It's believed that the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is the reason Fox Mulder's apartment number is 42. That's the impact this book series
Easter eggs.
It creates
has
Easter
had
eggs
on it,
for
yes.
other properties.
So you mentioned the library is free, and on Friday, all of that, our admission to the convention center is $10 general admission, but $42 includes an immersive dinner as well. The Roswell Community Little Theater players, we're really good at our immersive dinners that go with the
They do an
play.
amazing job with that.
Same thing. We're going to have, there's a meal described in the second book. It's like the first book ends, Arthur's still in his bathrobe. Hey, Earthman, you hungry? Well, suppose I'm a bit peckish. Let's go for a bite at the restaurant at the end of the universe, which is at the end, and that's the second novel in the series. That restaurant, Milliways, is at the end of time, where you're in a bubble and you get to see the universe die. Anyway,
sounds delightful.
The meal, the cow is genetically modified to predispose to want to be eaten. The cow's walking around. Well, my shank is looking really good today. Our CLT players are going to try to recreate as an immersive experience.
Nice.
No, they are going to succeed in recreating as an immersive experience.
They will do it every time.
Yeah, so our special guests will be there. We got about 20 extra tickets we can sell on that $42 package.
So please
and
take
that's
advantage of
on
that.
stage, 7:30 at our CLT.
But you do need to get the ticket before they...
Yeah, I think the 20th is the cutoff date.
and I'm telling
it's a
you,
beef dish. Beef and grumpy vegetables.
The communal theater has very limited space on stage. So if you really want to do this, you probably need to get that booked this week.
You're right.
If you wait till close to the 20th, I'm telling you, and it doesn't matter. Every time the communal theater does their immersion dinners and they do it almost every play that they put out. They're kind of in auditions, and we got some big ones coming here, so they're in a bit of a
Married Alive
hiatus
coming up next. Yeah,
a little bit of a public hiatus here as they're getting ready for the next season. But if you missed those immersive dinners, it happens every time. Because there really is. They only got about 20 or so. I mean, it's really not a lot of space up there.
At max, we're going 35. They wouldn't even let me push it to 42. They're like, absolutely not, 35. And I've got a dozen, like between the Talday ambassadors, the cosplayer Odefell. She's got 100,000 followers on TikTok.
Yeah,
she's going to be recreating one of the characters.
And so what I'm trying to say is this is highly coveted, but very limited.
Yeah, I'm taking a dozen of them myself.
So you better do that. Like if you wait till later in the month, I guarantee you're going to be on the outside looking in.
Now,
so get it done this
obviously,
week.
at the door is $10 to get in on Saturday.
Yeah, and that's good for all day there.
That pays for our facility.
Yes.
I'm sorry we have to do that.
Well,
convention center's not cheap.
People need to make money, and it does cost money to run the lights and run the buildings.
And bring in the guests. That's probably one of our biggest expenses.
Part of my burden was bringing in high end. Like this cosplayer is going to be recreating the movie accurate Marvel 616 Scarlet Witch. That's what she's going to open us with on Saturday.
Argue that you're in competition. Because Talday is international, and if you want the big guns of Talday, they're going to be going to the bigger places.
Good point.
And so it's kind of a big deal that you're able to get these folks to come to Roswell, because there was about 50 other entities pulling at their arms saying, no, come here.
Yeah.
Because it is celebrated across the planet.
That's right.
On the 25th.
I was told it's often coffee house scale.
Okay.
That they do their Bogan poetry. They
That
dress
makes sense.
up.
It does.
But
Because those are
it's something
places
like
that-
Stellar or Hot Bev vibe. This is a little bigger.
This is on a bigger stage than that. So and to be honest, we hope it to grow.
Yes,
This is Talday, Roswell year one. Let's see.
And you have to start somewhere.
Proof of concept. I would love to see it grow into a larger festival to replace what we lost with Hike It and Spike It, so to speak.
Yeah.
I've wanted to do this 20 years. My ex-wife talked me down from it once, and no name, a former chamber person said, "No, the hotels are booked Memorial Day weekend. You'll never get any support." I wish we'd have invented Airbnb or something instead to solve the problem. But I've wanted to do it forever. Galacticon is backing and just give me a little rope to run with.
Sure.
And the community I'm reaching out to is what's really going to make this amazing. The Talday ambassadors and the cosplayer
and that's what I like about this event, is because at the end of the day, it's for the niche. It's for the people that live, breathe, eat, sleep, and love the universes of which they say, and it's that, all of that. But these are equally as much for the half kind of know. It's like, I love the book, it was good. No, I don't spend my life living by it, but I do loved it and I do enjoy it. Or you know what? I love
people can quote it like Shakespeare or the Bible, though. And that's part of the fun. We can just be standing there reading reading from memory your favorite passages.
Yeah, and so this event is for the most dyed-in-the-wool fans to people that have a casual passing interest or just love the whole genre, the whole love science fiction. I love going to cons. I love the panels. I love the cosplay. I love, I don't have a particular one, but I love and appreciate the time and effort and artistry that goes involved with this. And that's, when you, and that's why cosplay is so popular, because it's not dressing up for Halloween. That's these people study it.
It's professional.
Yeah, like and I just know, just using Star Wars as an example, because that's a little bit more meticulous than other universes. Like to get into the groups, to be a stormtrooper, your level of detail is insane. Like it puts the United States military to shame. It's like no. Yeah, you talk about pay attention to detail. No, when you get in Star Wars is an example, but that's
you're right though.
But that's how it kind of is, and so
Ren Fair.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not 1500s accurate. Those guys will call you out. I'd like to see more of that in Roswell.
Yeah.
All
Which,
that
by the way,
eye for detail and expertise.
Here in a couple weeks, unfortunately, I don't know if it's the same weekend or right around that time, but they're doing a Renaissance Festival in Lincoln County, Reed Osteen, Lincoln County Forest, and I think that's the first time too. And so I love that more of that's coming here, and we're seeing more of that.
There's a difference between costume and cosplay. And the costume, you dress up in the costume, and you may make it and maybe totally detailed. Cosplay is you create a character and a persona within that costuming.
And sometimes it emulates after a character in the story that you're...
To be cosplay accurate, I should have walked in here and said, great things are afoot.
Yeah.
And you'd have said, what's your name? And I'd have said, my name is unimportant. And then we'd have had a chit-chat, and finally I'd tell you, my name is Slark Bittifast. I told you it was unimportant. That's a little more cosplay. I mean, character.
Yeah, you're
And it's the same as the immersive dinner.
Yeah.
When the theater does the dinners, the actors are in costume, and they play their character.
That's right.
They cosplay
and
or
they treat
improv their
and
character.
act, and we'll carry on.
Yeah.
And generally with the plays, they'll give you clues and stuff if it's a mystery or something. This will be more obviously, Hitchhiker's Guide themed, and so they will hit you with knowledge and tidbits that if you know Hitchhiker's Guide, you're like, I said what you did there.
Yeah. Beverly and Jessica came up with the table setting is a flower pot that is cracked with petunias in it.
Love it.
And that was so detail, Easter egg specific to the book that they just picked it out, and that's our table settings, cracked petunia.
And that's the part that the hardcore love.
Yeah.
Because that's the detail they want.
It's because you feel like you belong.
Yes,
you're there.
Exactly. And then for people that are kind of on the outside looking in, that's the inclusion part. And when they explain it to you, that's our thing for this. And welcome to the club.
And now you know.
And this is the lesson I want to teach all of our cosplayers and people that are loving into their thing. You love it and you want other people to love it. Be open and share about it.
That's
right. I know sometimes you get like, you're not worthy of my knowledge of this. You got to get here before you can get to me.
Yeah.
I get your passion. But if you're trying to get other people to have your passion, arms open, not arms closed, arms open.
And not fighting over the book or the movie or the radio series or the,
Just
be
show
inclusive.
Now, you can have those debates with your friends down the road.
Yeah.
On who's the more, but when you're trying to get people to like what you like, you got to go to the bare bones level of it.
Kindness matters.
And this event is just, so if you're the uber nerd that wants the details that are so, we got you. But if you're like, dude, I just want to come and see some cool science stuff.
Get selfies with the actors and
we got you covered too.
Towel Day ambassadors and their royalty.
Yeah.
The cosplayer and her two different outfits. It's a huge selfie event. And if you're in costume, it's even better. We'll be asking you for pictures, maybe.
And maybe if you're a big Star Wars or Star Trek, represent.
Do it.
Come represent.
All
represent your
realms
thing.
are welcome.
You'll make some new friends, I guarantee
Very
it.
inclusive sci-fi cosplay event.
Because guess what? People that love Hitchhiker's Guide probably also someone like Lord of the Rings. They like Star Wars. They
Absolutely.
like Star Trek. They like Marvel movies. They like anime. They like the things that
I've
you
seen
like
you at
too.
all of them.
So they can relate. So definitely. We're running out of time, so I want to make sure we get all the events. But Saturday, and then, of course, like you said, we have the big improv dinner that kind of highlights it. Get your tickets now. Don't wait till
Correct.
a week from now.
$42 includes dinner and admission Saturday.
Yeah, but if you just want to do the con stuff all Saturday, that's $10 to get in. You get at the door. You can get advance tickets.
Full schedule, RoswellTalday.com.
RoswellTalday.com. If you want the immersive dinner, you need to go there now. As soon as we get off the air.
Talday.org is the official big one, but our local RoswellTalday.com.
Yeah, if you want to learn the lore of the whole behind the day.
Oh, and Sunday, the UFO Museum is inviting them, these 3 Talday ambassadors and our cosplayer to go down for a photo op as well.
Excellent.
So
I wanted to make sure we get that
Sunday.
in too. So come to the UFO Museum.
Yeah, we're not charging for that, but there is admission to
museum does have fees, and you'll
But they're giving these guys compliments. She said, just give me a head count, and we'll come down and do a nice little photo op on Sunday.
Awesome.
They're going to go around town. There's a list on the website, 42 things to do in Roswell, because that's what the Talday ambassador. Well, what's there to do there? You guys tell me Roswell.
You need to
first.
take credit for that.
Thank
sir.
you. We are 42 things to do in Roswell is on this site now. Crack a geode at Ancients of Days, the museums to visit and such.
Yeah.
Odefell, our cosplayer, is going to be bopping around for Thursday and Friday.
So you see him
doing
around
those
town.
things.
Yeah.
And she's got 100,000 TikTok followers. So
that's amazing. So go to TaldayRoswell.com.
RoswellTalday.com.
Sorry, thank you. It's RoswellTalday.com. Go there. You can see the thing. Get your tickets for the event. Of course, if you follow Galacticon on Facebook, there's links to all of the Talday events and things. Just if you get to Facebook, Roswell Galacticon, first thing will pop up. Like it, follow it.
Got a couple events on there related to
and
this.
plus, you're going to want to stay abreast of that one for the stuff coming up in the week.
July
to
4th
follow
weekend.
Here. And
Right.
So,
That's right.
Excellent.
July 4th is on a Thursday, so
that's right.
We start Friday. It's a great timing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind
Friday,
of
Saturday, and Sunday, 5th, 6th, 7th.
Usually the July 4th is like right after or right this time. It's out of the way.
Exactly.
Next year, Talday is on a Sunday, so
we're okay.
prior to a Memorial Day.
That's
so
right.
if we want to start Hoopy Days, holler at me now, guys.
Absolutely, get involved. But come out again. May 24th is everything at the library beginning at 3 p.m. 10 a.m. on the 25th at the Convention and Civic Center. And then 10 a.m. at the UFO Museum is when our guests will be there
for photo ops,
greeting and
and then walk around the museum and learn something.
Come hang out with the aliens.
If you haven't been to the museum lately, you need to go. They're really developing.
They're always
computers
and doing
interactive
stuff.
exhibits, etc.
Yeah, it's good. So. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you next time here.
Yeah, I'll be back.
If you want them to come back on Friday to talk to a Talday ambassador, when they're here on that first Friday before they do the library, maybe.
Well, we can do
maybe
that.
You're
Let me look at my schedule here, and we'll figure that out.
Ambassador, cosplayer, ambassadors.
And we'll be seeing you to talk Galacticon.
And we'll get that all going, too. All right, 8:58, quick break before...
The physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. I'm Lance Wallnow, a news analyst.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Are all shown being squashed by an enormous metal rubbish compactor into the size of Apple's thinnest product ever, the 13-inch iPad Pro. Now, critics say the ad celebrates the stifling of creativity rather than encouraging it.
The BBC's Michelle Fleury. The British economy bounced back strongly in the first 3 months of the year, ending what economists had termed a technical recession. Statistics in the government say the economy grew by 0.6% in the first quarter from the previous quarter. News and analysis, townhall.com. It is another black eye for beleaguered aircraft manufacturer Boeing.
A Boeing 737 skidded off a runway at the airport in Senegal's capital, Dakar. 10 people were injured. Passenger video shows the aircraft on fire and passengers jumping down the emergency slides as flames shot out from one side of the aircraft. In the background, people can be heard screaming. The transport minister says the Air Senegal flight operated by Transair was on the way to neighboring Mali late Wednesday with 85 people on board. I'm Rita Foley.
Facing a staggering deficit of at least $38 billion, perhaps as high as $58 billion, California Governor Gavin Newsom releases an updated budget proposal today. A big rebound in tax income that budget writers had been counting on failed to materialize. That sent Governor Newsom back to the drawing board to come up with a revised spending blueprint. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The tabloid said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to our number 2.
The Deuce?
The Deuce, indeed. Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday.
Yes.
It is a overcast but pleasant Friday. I'm digging this. I hope we don't get the rain to mess up the baseball team, or rains in between games or something to where it doesn't mess up. But
I argue that unless there's lightning, let it play. I mean, golfers look forward to weather like this. They say they want to go hit the greens as soon as there's weather like this because it challenges them to play in inclement weather.
Yeah.
So I say let it play.
Not to mention, it's probably a lot cooler and more pleasant to walk around the course today than it would be when it's 90 degrees out there, 150 degrees out. Yeah.
Let's the booze set in slowly, so by hole number 9, you're fully boozed up. You know?
Yeah. Well, one thing that y'all better not sleep on, that's also this weekend, Mother's Day.
Yes.
Sunday. Mother's Day is Sunday. And I got a couple things actually happen for you to get mom going on here. Albertsons. The Albertsons on the corner of Union and 2nd.
Yep.
They are going to be doing flowers for Mom's Day. They've got your destination for mom. They have a beautiful. You ever gone to the Albertsons on 2nd Street?
Absolutely.
They have a beautiful section of flowers and things
Their
like
floral
that.
department is, and it's one of the very few floral departments in Roswell that is staffed and has someone there that will answer questions for you. They're fantastic.
So you can swing by Albertsons for Mother's Day this Sunday. Custom arrangements, gift baskets, balloon bouquets, delivery. Yeah, said it, delivery. Probably didn't know that one. Flower baskets. And so stop by Albertsons here on the corner of Union and 2nd. Pick up, get mom a beautiful special bouquet or little something for mom.
Let me give you a pro tip.
Yes.
They have these roses in a globe. I've seen these. I'm sure you've seen these. Different colored roses. These, if kept in low light and in a relatively still position,
still of the night,
will last forever.
Okay.
My kid's mom, I got one for her like 5 Valentine's Days ago, and it's still living strong.
Nice.
So I'm just saying, get her the gift that could potentially last forever.
Yeah. And then once you're done getting flowers, you need to swing on over to Dairy Queen.
Yes.
Because Mom's Day, they love doing their ice cream blizzard cakes. And Mom doesn't want to be doing work on Sunday.
Oh, no.
She won't be cooking. She won't be making things. You got to provide for her. So desserts covered. Ice cream blizzard cake for your mom or grandma. You can turn any of your favorite blizzard flavors into an ice cream cake. So if you're a Snickers person or Reese's or Oreo or Butterfinger, then you can make a customized blizzard cake just for you. Now, they can even customize it, put names, pictures, all kinds of stuff too. But you got to get that done here quick because Mother's Day is Sunday. Now, if you space and completely space on that, no worries. They swing on by Saturday night, Sunday morning. They do have pre-made cakes. They'll even be happy to put a Happy Mom's Day on there for you, or, personalize a little bit. But to get your custom orders in, get that done like today.
Yeah, that would be most good.
And by the way, that's at the North Main Dairy Queen. The one on 2nd, you can make all your blizzards and delicious food, but all ice cream cakes are at the one on Main.
Right, and they'll tell you that too. They'll say, got to go up north.
Yep. So go to the Dairy Queen on North Main, get your custom-made ice cream blizzard cake ordered today, and have it ready for Mom on Sunday.
Don't know what Mom's favorite blizzard is? Here's a pro tip. Go, hey, Mom, I'm at the drive-thru at the Dairy Queen. I'm going to get a blizzard.
What do you want?
What's your favorite flavor?
She's like, I don't want one. Give me a pretzel.
Not helping.
Pretzel ice cream cake it is.
I bet you they'll do that for you.
Yeah, but absolutely, yeah. Hook up Mom. Take care of Mom this weekend. Do not forget, Mom has bailed you out more than you realize, and you know it. So get her an ice cream cake. Get her some flowers. Get her something nice this week.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Please, give Mom the respect. I mean, she brought you into this world and kept you here. She had the option to take you out.
I'm about to say it, according to Bill Cosby, and she will take you out. Are we still allowed to do Bill Cosby references?
I don't know.
I don't think if we're allowed to.
Because he was not acquitted, but he was released.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
But the Bill Cosby himself stand-up comic special,
still one of the best.
He's got years of iconic things to say about.
We literally used to walk around going, "Dad is great.
Give him some chocolate cake.
Gave us chocolate cake."
Oh, the whole dentist scene. All that.
I thought for a good portion of my life that my name was Damn It.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite lines on that thing.
Dad,
let me get in here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, it's great. It's a great bit, but it's just
because we can relate.
Then you go and you quaalude up a bunch of women, and
you pudding pops later, and here we sit.
It tarnishes the legacy. We'll just leave it at that.
But that being said, Bill Cosby himself is still a funny comedy special.
Honestly,
I don't care what everybody says.
Probably not the most popular opinion in the world.
Yeah.
There are many Miramax films that I feel were fantastic that the Weinstein brothers put out in the 90s and early 2000s. I'm not associating who put them out with the quality of the film they're in. I'm just saying, The Crying Game,
yes.
The Piano, and then, of course, all the View Askew universe.
Oh, man. We got a full hour for you this hour. We have, I know Under Sheriff Charles Eastless is here. I'm not sure if the sheriff's here yet or not. I hear he's been talking to people. So
there's some rumbling.
I'm going to say there's some other people in the other room there. So besides Charles Eastless. Although he might be good at throwing his voice and ventriloquism and doing all that. And if he's doing that, tip of the cap.
You never know these days. Nowadays, I have to play the game here in the streets of Roswell. Are they crazy or do they have a Bluetooth headset?
Yeah. You know what? That's why I love ranting in my car. When people make me mad, people think I'm on the phone.
You look like Stone Cold Steve Austin coming to the ring. You're just mumbling, saying a bunch of stuff. Nobody knows what he's saying.
He must be on the phone. No,
he's clearly got a Bluetooth headset.
I'm yelling at you.
I believe he's wishing one of your offspring dies of cancer.
That's right. Oh, man. All right. It is 13 minutes after 8. You know what? Yesterday, I was about to cuss some people out. There's some dummies on the road out here. Wonder if we can get the sheriff just a pass. Just throw them on. Anyway. 9th. Sorry, that's my own mental health. All right. 8:13. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Temperatures will stay fairly cool this weekend. We have a low developing over our area. Mix of sun and clouds and mid-70s today. We could get a shower or thunderstorm overnight, and we're in the upper 50s. Looks like a good chance of rain and thunderstorms rolling through on Saturday, and we'll stay in the upper 60s. Lingering shower Saturday night. We're back to sunshine on Sunday, low 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 57 degrees and overcast here in Roswell. Humidity is at 53%. Winds currently out of the north at 13 miles per hour. For today, partly cloudy, 73 for a high with northeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then tonight, the rain chances enter. We are looking at a 60% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 58 degrees. Winds will be out of the southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. They're expecting less than a tenth of an inch of rain tonight, unless we get a thunderstorm. For your Saturday, we are looking at a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, and a high of 68 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the southeast, 10 to 15 miles per hour, and they're expecting anywhere between a tenth and a quarter of an inch of rain, unless we get a thunderstorm. Then that will change. Saturday night, we're looking at a 40% chance at showers and thunderstorms. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 58 degrees with southeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunny on Sunday with a high of 83, south winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 for the afternoon, and sunny in mid-80s when you head back to work and school on Monday. All right, 8:15, we're going to take about a 4.5-minute break. I told you I got a lot of commercials because of baseball and political season, so big break, and then we will talk with the sheriff's office on the other side. Don't go away.
Hi, everyone. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. When was the last time you looked forward to sleep? Let's be honest here. You know a restful night's sleep has more health benefits than you consciously think about during the day. Here at Glenn's, we carry Serta mattresses, and they've been in the business for more than 90 years. Choosing one can be hard, but I want you to know we have your back. Come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda in Roswell, where delivery is free since 1953.
Have you been admitted to the University of New Mexico? Then it's time to sign up for new student orientation. Whether you're an incoming freshman, transfer, or non-traditional student, at NSO, you'll learn the ins and outs of life as a Lobo. From class schedules to student activities, services and resources to campus living, plus everything in between. So, are you Lobo ready? Your time at UNM begins at NSO. Register for your orientation at nso.unm.edu or apply to UNM at apply.unm.edu.
Do you love your car? Yes. Well, Roswell Hyundai wants to help you keep your current car with a lower payment. Introducing Refi with Hyundai. Roswell Hyundai wants to help you refinance your current vehicle with rebates and discounts to lower your payment. If you're ready to upgrade, Roswell Hyundai has a fresh inventory of new and pre-owned vehicles with special financing available regardless of your credit with I-10 accepted. Don't forget, all new Hyundais come with a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty and 3 years of free oil changes. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do. Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Yes, cannabis is legal in New Mexico. Know that there are helpful rules for responsible cannabis use. Yes, you should only buy from a licensed dispensary. Know that if you don't, yours might contain harmful substances. And yes, lock up all cannabis, safely away from kids and pets, in a safe place. And know that cookie jars are not good options. Know your yeses and nos about all things cannabis. From the State of New Mexico Cannabis Control Division. Go to yesandnosnm.com.
Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, here to announce that our geraniums are ready. So now the great debate begins. Are they pink or are they raspberry sorbet? Are they orange or are they Caribbean coral? Well, whatever you call them, they're the prettiest geraniums anywhere. We raise them in our own greenhouse, then send them home with you to brighten up the world. So come get yours now while the selection is best. Don't worry about the silly names.
I heard that.
Yes, dear. Coming, dear. Right away, dear. Of course, you're right.
Senator Greg Nybert is known as a conservative Republican who is effectively fighting for us in Santa Fe. In the last session, Greg Nybert helped stop harmful legislation that would penalize New Mexico businesses with outrageously expensive financial burdens. He knows small businesses do not need more regulation. Greg Nybert helped defeat progressive attempts to make it illegal for New Mexicans to own certain types of firearms and firearm accessories. He knows it's important to protect our rights. During his legislative career, Greg has been responsible for stopping numerous anti-oil and gas bills. He knows it is important to protect our jobs. Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate for District 27 who has a proven record of protecting us from big government intrusion. Greg Nybert stands for the rights of the people and pledges to continue his work. Please vote for Greg Nybert for Senate District 27.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
Thoreau was quoted as saying, "It's not enough to be busy, so are the ants." The question is, what are we busy about? In a world full of distraction, busyness, and personal agendas, the idea of serving others can seem like a foreign concept. If you're anything like me, you start your personal checklist each morning, running down the list of items that you need to accomplish before the end of the day. Oftentimes, my list of to-dos has everything to do with being about me and very little to do with being about others. God's intention, however, is that his people should always be available for his service. Being a part of the body of Christ, we're to be the hands and feet of Jesus. Are you looking to be filled with joy and happiness? Why not try lifting somebody else's burden? Join us this Sunday as we remind ourselves that we're servants and that we can make it a priority in our daily lives.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
If you suffer from pogonophobia, you would not want to attend a party with the following people: Kenny Rogers, Santa Claus, Willie Nelson, the cast of Duck Dynasty, and 2/3 of ZZ Top. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio, 2/3 of all the Charleses in the Chaves County Sheriff's Department. Under Sheriff Charles Isa's back with us, and of course Lieutenant Charles Drake back too as well. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great to have you guys back. And of course Charles, we're so glad to see you're back in the saddle and kicking butt and doing your thing. And of course, I think the community knew, because Charles is kind of out and about, and people are like, "Where's Charles? I ain't seen Charles."
Exactly. So
Charles is back in the saddle though. Good to go.
It's great. I haven't felt this good in 15 plus years. I had and I'll just be honest, I had a hiatal hernia that I had fixed. I didn't realize that part of my, with the hiatal hernia, I learned a lot. I never really knew what that was, but apparently the muscle bands had torn, and part of my stomach had come up into my chest, which now I understand.
That's not supposed to do that.
No, it wasn't where it was supposed to be. And
Right.
so, now that explained why every time I would eat, I would have to do this.
Yeah. So literally when people say my stomach leaped up into my throat, like when they get scared or something.
Sure.
You actually had that happen.
Yes. Minus the scared, add the acid reflux.
Yeah. It wasn't roller coaster related.
Right,
but it was,
But I was up in Presbyterian at the beginning of April in Albuquerque. I was up there for 3 or 4 days. They did an outstanding job. The staff there are amazing. They treated us like gold.
Awesome.
And since coming back, my energy level is back. It's amazing what one thing will do. They went ahead and finished off my thyroid.
Especially when you're dealing with something chronic like that, and you didn't know any better, and now you're like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. How awesome is this? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's
absolutely.
It's kind of like you see those videos of like people that are colorblind and they get those glasses and they see color for the first time.
Oh my
God! I mean, it's a little bit of that going on,
Exactly, and it just, for lack of a better word, it felt like the fountain of youth for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm up now 5:30, 6 o'clock without an alarm clock. For the longest time, I was just tired. I just didn't feel good.
Yeah, imagine you probably slept bad, everything,
Exactly.
the apnea, all that. That's probably all tied together,
And what's amazing is the type 2 diabetes is no longer.
Wow.
The blood pressure meds are gone. The sleep apnea is dissipating. And, with that,
that's great.
I've lost 42 pounds, and I'm happy for that. And the reason
it's
for
still
that
big enough
is
to kick your butt. Don't worry about
it. Absolutely.
If you be.
I need to be in shape to get out of the way, but then jump back in the way if I need to.
That's right.
The biggest thing is when they went ahead and finished off my thyroid and everything, and all that's done. I now, when you always hear people say, hey, don't mess with me, I've got a thyroid condition. And I always thought, that's a cop-out. I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
Now I tell people, hey, I had a thyroid condition, okay?
You know what? I understand.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah.
You. But absolutely.
And but
sometimes you
it's great
wear
to
the
be-
shoes, you don't
Yeah.
realize it sometimes, and you got a chance to do that.
But it's great to be back, and as my administrative lieutenant, he's done a phenomenal job.
Well, but say while you're in,
He stepped
Lieutenant
in
Drake
for
was
me.
kind of
Yes.
being the next man up, fill the gap in the line,
He
taking
started-
care of business and that kind of.
He started
thing.
learning this job.
So now he's ready to take your job, right?
Maybe, maybe down the line. Absolutely.
Well, now
we're
that-
not going to divulge
now-
anything yet. But.
Well, now that Charles Easton feels younger, he decided he's going to go on the pro tour of golf again or something like that. So he's
Are
gonna,
you?
No, I'm just kidding.
A golfer I never was. I just smacked the ball around, drove the cart.
But I do need to ask this. Now
Sure.
that you are doing well, are you going to try to hang with the sheriff on the hot eating stuff?
I don't want to. It's pretty funny because my taste buds changed, and they said they will change a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, it was a personal accomplishment to me. I was happy that I could eat medium now. And I'm like that, yes. And then these guys come in and they eat this real hot stuff.
Liquid fire.
Yeah, and it puts me back in an emotional state
Sure.
where I'm,
Well,
I'm all down.
And I'm telling you, this is straight up truth. I've never seen a man eat hot food like Sheriff Mike Harrington and take it the way he takes it. He literally eats the hottest things I've ever, and I've seen people crying on the floor. He eats it like, he might burp, or something, or be like, ooh, that was spicy. But
well, my gosh,
he literally doesn't react.
If
It
he
blows
burps,
me
he's
away.
going to burn the house down.
It blows me away how he does that. I'm in awe.
And it
of how
don't
he does
faze
it.
him at all.
It doesn't.
He's not far behind him, though.
Are you hanging?
I'll try to. Not
All right.
that level. No way.
Can you make this happen, Charles?
I will do
Charles
everything I
Eastless.
can. You
I
bet.
can't just say Charles.
You bet.
Can you make this happen? Can we get these two men in this room having some kind of jalapeno eating something? Can we get Mike Harrington and Charles Drake sitting right in this room eating like a eat-off here? I would
I propose.
Can we make that happen?
2 different eat-offs.
Okay.
One would be the hot.
Okay.
The Schofield heat units. The second would be the large.
Oh, quantity.
This
I like
man,
it.
6'6".
He's a big man.
6'6", 300.
Like I'm the size of his probably wallet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna-
when I eat, okay, it's called a lunch hour, not a lunch 10 minutes. I have seen this man chicken fried steak doesn't stand a chance. And we found some big ones. I mean, some big plates and everything. And he's like that, man. And I'm just like, so I propose 2.
I'm in all of that too.
Yeah, because
I
when it comes to the hot stuff, I think he's going to take it.
Oh, yeah.
But when it comes to
The quantity,
I know he's going to take it.
Drake's hands down winner. All right.
Yeah. So we got to break them back to even.
Absolutely. So we'll work on that. We need to do something there because I'm telling you folks, and I'm not trying to get the sheriff in trouble because now everyone's going to walk around, hey, eat this.
Yeah.
But that man, I've seen him
For
on
a long
multiple
time they
occasions.
did.
Eat things that are. I'm like, because at first he said it, I was like, nah, you're full of it, man. This is bravado nonsense. But I've seen we had this world's hottest chocolate sitting in here.
Yeah, I remember.
And Sean ate a square, and it's like this big, and there's these little tiny squares, and Sean ate one square, and that man was in
He
tears
thought it
on
was
the
a
floor.
bar.
Yeah, and the Sheriff Mike Harris was like, oh, that's good. That's good. He ate like 3 of them.
Yes.
And then he sat and finished the interview like nothing happened.
I have yet to see something that
blew me away. It blew me away because
Yeah.
I've seen a man in tears on the ground do 1/3 of what he did.
Yeah. Now you know why we wear brown pants.
Right? Bring me my brown pants.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly. That's exactly
Go
right.
look up that old joke if you don't know that.
If you don't
There's
know
something
that
about
joke,
the red shirt.
it's a
and
pirate.
war shirt. Yeah.
Yes. You have to look it up. My red shirt, my brown pants.
That's right.
That's all we're going to tell you. But it's
Absolutely.
great. It's great to be back.
Well, I'm glad that
I wasn't actually gone. I was working
Yeah,
from
you
a
were behind the
laptop
scenes.
and
You were working from your hospital room and doing what you can to help the sheriff's department. But
most of my calls went like this. Hey, where is such and such? Okay, hold on. Okay, are you facing the door, the desk?
Oh, that's right.
Yes. Okay, lower left, right down there, up, over here. Little things like
He's got
that.
an oriented
I
system.
have a system. It doesn't look like it, but I have a system.
I get you because
Yeah.
I'm the same way. I have a system. People think of me like
It's a system till we have to find it.
Right.
We can't
That's
find
right.
It's my system.
It's like a kill switch. You don't advertise it.
That's right.
It's where it's at.
Pay attention. This is under sheriff important knowledge right
This
now.
is stuff he needs to know, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm guessing, at some point, say Charles is sheriff, then you're going to have to basically do everything he does. And we all know that the sheriff goes, but at the end of the day, Charles is kind of pointing them around and telling them, hey, you need to be here, you need to be here. So you have to get good at that.
Yeah, that's the full-time job.
Yeah.
Or can be.
Well, and by design, I mean, the sheriff, is, and because of the sheriff's the personality he is, he wants to meet and talk with everybody.
Sure.
And that takes time to do that.
There is no high and by.
Yeah, but he also gets, that's how you guys do good policing.
Absolutely.
This is what we talk about here. We joke about all this hot food and stuff, but this is by design. We want people to see law enforcement as human people, just like you and everyone else. When they take off the badge, they're into the same things you are. They're watching the same shows, eating the same foods.
We have families here.
Into the same activities, just like everybody else.
He's eating the hotter foods, though.
But and so that's what we love about this, and this is something that I've known since Mike Harrington's been sheriff. He's really kind of talked with every deputy, from the brand new ones, to say, we want you to be with the people.
Absolutely.
Come out here. You know what? We're having a thing out this weekend. I want a huge presence of sheriff's deputies out here. Not to, obviously to serve and protect, but to really just to be helpful.
To be available.
there.
It's important to be available to the public, because we are a public servant, and people tend to forget that. And when I say people, your younger generation of law enforcement, they think this is a run and gun. 99% of the time is fast paced.
You're there to be the authority, and
right.
Not really. I mean, if you have to in the instance, that's what it is. But there, you're here to help the situation get resolved.
We're a Renaissance man.
Yeah.
At one time, we're a counselor. At some time, we're a motivational speaker. At sometimes, we are the law. And so with that, it takes being an open-minded, well-rounded individual, both mentally and emotionally. It's, to me and to us, it's more important for them to see the police car and slow down prior to even entering the school zone than it is to hide the police car and catch them speeding through the school zone.
Yeah.
And so that's what
we don't want to play got you. We want to deter.
Exactly. And so that's what going out and visiting with the public. The other thing is, we want the public to know that we live here as well. We shop at the same places they shop at. We have stake in this town as well.
It's your home.
We have roots
just like
here.
It is everybody else.
Exactly. And it's it would be very hard, and it's not correct to do as I say, don't do as I do. And so when we get calls of deputies exceeding speed limits and things like that, he's real good. He'll pull it up, he'll look at it, and then call them in, say, hey. And it's important.
And it's sheriff's department is like any other entity.
That's right.
You get your young folks, and young folks sometimes do dumb things sometimes. And
they get excited because they have lights.
That's the case is true with sheriffs, deputies, law enforcement. It's it's training. This is why the Charleses are here to kind of mentor and foster these young guys. And when these they come right out the academy, fresh out of the academy, they're wet behind the ears. They're new in the world. They're learning. And the academy does a great job of teaching them things.
Right.
But the one thing it can't give you is experience. And that's where they get next.
That's right.
And that's where you guys come in and mentor. So when they're out in the fold and they're on the beat doing the job day to day, you're the mentors. You're the one saying, hey, when because quite frankly, the public can get quite testy sometimes. And it's going to test your fortitude, your mental
You
health,
will never make everybody happy.
Exactly. And that's where you guys come in and say, hey, you're going to have those days. There's going to be days where you felt like you didn't make a difference, and you're going to be, and that's where you come in and you hit them with your wisdom. You say, let's go have a beer. Let's go have dinner, and let's focus on this side, the brain.
Right.
Yeah.
And the important thing is not the battles, it's the war. And we tell them all the time, pick your battles. The side of the road is not a place to argue about a citation. And I'm not talking about the court. I'm not just talking about the public. I'm talking about the deputies as well.
Absolutely. And because they want to, they're passionate about the job. And if you're doing wrong, let's face it, if you're doing something erroneous, that's dangerous, and you get a deputy that's upset, it's because of the nature of what you're doing. You don't realize the consequences of what you're doing.
Right.
And that yelling probably saved your life. Just
Sure.
saying.
And it goes back to a lot of times, don't take it personal.
Mm-hmm.
It's your duty. I don't like to say it's your job. It's your duty. You
Sure.
took an oath to do this, and you need to uphold that oath.
Absolutely.
And that's what's important.
And I'm going to guess in both your guys' careers, you've had numerous times where you've had those people that gave you a hard time,
beyond
tooth and nail. But, maybe they're drug addicts or something. But that was the moment that put them back on the path. And how many times, I'm sure there's multiple times you've had people that you saw them at their lowest of lows on the street. And then you see them 6 months, a year later, and they're in rehab or they've gone and they're doing better. And they come to you like, you know what? Your encounter with me, it turned me around. That was the difference that said, and I know you guys see this all the time where you literally get people that have kind of changed their lives and are now thanking you guys because, that night you caught me on the road doing what I did.
Sure.
That was the moment that I'm now reconnected with my family. I'm not in legal troubles. I'm healthy,
Right.
clean. And so, a lot of times people's moments are the light bulb moment is the moment they have with you in the middle of the night on the side of the road.
Absolutely.
That's what happened.
That can be the eye opener. And the reality is we want the public to know that we are available. We want to be on a good working relationship. And that's the necessity, and that's the reason that we spend so much time out in the public, is because we are public servants. All law enforcement, all first responders are public servants. Now, granted, depending on the area of public service that you're in, it might allow you to do that. It might not, depending on your schedule and things like that.
Absolutely.
We're fortunate to where we have, in our position, in the administrative position, we have a little extra time to where we can go out. And it's important to do that and let the public know. I've said it before that oftentimes when people move up in rank, they put all these barriers between them and the public.
Sure.
There's a secretary or there's somebody of lower rank and all these other things.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
You should become more available to the public because now you need to answer for what's going on.
You're absolutely right. Like, say you get a big city, Dallas, pick one. The police chief. Yeah, you don't get to just walk up into that office and come in and say, hey, in Chavez County, you want to talk to the sheriff? If he's in the office, yeah, come on in. It's literally like that.
Exactly. The other day I had a gentleman from the ATF. They don't have. This is what we stress. You don't have to have an appointment. We're not a doctor's office per se. And I got a call. I was headed up north to take care of something. Not a problem. Turned around, went in, and then called in the lieutenants. We had a great visit with him for probably a half an hour. And we learned some things. He learned some things. Developed a really good working relationship and a plan of action for this area, and things like that. It's the networking.
It's working with the neighborhood and doing
Absolutely.
the kind of like you hear like your neighborhood watches and things like that. This is kind of even that next level of that. Sure, it's fostering,
Absolutely.
creating that, but it's also the next knowing the neighborhoods, and this is true with your deputies when they go out their beats. They go to the areas that they know their neighborhoods and where they're assigned to, and so they see the same people every day. They know the normalness. That guy's always doing that. That's a normal thing. No, that's out of character. Let me check that out.
I tell them, don't let a call to that neighborhood be the reason you only drive down that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Drive down that neighborhood. Drive down that street. Oh, I've never been down that street. Drive down it.
Yeah.
You don't need a call on that street to go down it. Go down it, and a lot of times,
just be a presence.
A lot of times, people will call. They'll call him. They'll call me and say, "Hey, we really appreciate it. That's the first time we've seen a deputy in a little while."
Absolutely.
Which is a good and a bad thing. It's a bad thing because we have a lot of area to cover.
Sure.
And
we are a big
unfortunately,
county and only so many deputies on the force here, and there's a lot of square miles to cover.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the good part to that is there hasn't been anything that's brought us there as far as criminal activity.
It's a quiet neighborhood.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
it's but you're absolutely right. People and again it gets back to that neighborhood thing because guess what happens?
Yeah.
He stops. He's sitting there in the car, maybe just hanging out, just kind of keeping out. People come up, hey, how you doing? And talk. Next thing you know, they strike up a conversation. And I'm sure how many you probably had. You probably had 50 different conversations with people that just started because you're just sitting there parked, hanging out, just kind of keeping an eye on things.
And it's amazing the information that you can gather with a smile than it is with an interview.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
And people will come forward and tell you all kind of stuff. And
sure.
That's the relationship. That's how, at the end of the day, how the detectives solve their cases and how all of that happens. It all happens because of the relationships that the law enforcement officials have with the public.
We've both had it where someone comes up and says, "Well, I wasn't going to mention anything, but right down the road here," and then all of a sudden, guess what? Right down the road.
Then we're in a search warrant.
When they see you,
it turned into a hornet's nest.
Yeah. Well, because what happens is they see you as Charles, not as Lieutenant Drake,
and that's what I want them to see me as.
Or Under Sheriff Eastless. Yeah.
I want them to see me. I'm Charles.
Yeah.
My title is the undersheriff. And that is my, not job, that's my duty.
Mm-hmm.
But my title doesn't define me.
Mm-hmm.
I am Charles. When I see people out in the public, they say, "Hey, undersheriff," I say, "Hey, call me Charles." And I stop and talk to every one of them. And granted, it takes 4 or 5 hours to get through Walmart.
Yeah.
And, a lot of times I'm being pushed.
He's not asked to go get a thing of eggs because you know that'll take all day.
The better half is telling me, "Hey, you said it was just going to take this long."
Like, well, you should have gone and got the eggs because everyone wants to talk to me to get the eggs.
Yeah. So the reality is that, but I'm a human being. I'm a person. I'm not a title. And I don't believe in living by titles. Titles come and go. Someone will replace this position someday.
Yeah.
And I believe that they'll do a great job. I intend to replace the sheriff's position someday, and I will do the best job I can do.
Yeah.
And so with that is the title will always be there.
Sure.
It is you as a person.
That's what people are relying on.
That's right. You can fake titles. Mm-hmm. You can't fake who you are.
Well, and to be honest,
and that's important.
You and both of you've got 2 points where you're not Lieutenant Drake. You're not, under. You could be Deputy Drake, Deputy Eastless.
We are,
and they're going to treat you. But I mean, not the rank part. Just
right.
You're the bare
minus
lowest
the stars
level,
and bars,
and it's still treated the exact same way. And that's because of how you guys conduct and handle yourself out in the field. And
this means more responsibility, and I can get sued just sitting at home.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the more things you get on the collar, it just means more paperwork and more
means more stress,
more meetings and more paperwork.
Means less hair.
As your collar
means
gets
gray
thicker,
hair.
As your collar gets heavier with all the metal on it, that means there's more meetings, more.
Right. It goes back to that song, "The Weight of the Badge."
And to be honest, less of what you got into law enforcement for to begin with. Obviously you still and guess what? Every single person in the sheriff's department does, even the sheriff, even the undersheriff. They all are on the street doing their day job, so to speak.
We were just talking about
obviously because they're sheriff and undersheriff, and you have other responsibilities, so you don't get to do it as much.
Yeah,
but there will be some times where you might be speeding, and next thing you know, you get pulled over, and there's the sheriff or there's Charles. One of the Charleses here. Saying,
Sure,
I got you speeding, buddy.
Well, when 2 guys get out of the vehicle, and I'm not as big as he is, but I'm pulling a person one way and he's pulling the other way, he usually wins.
Yeah.
And
it's
the
just
2 times
physics.
the 2 times I've been to the ER in the past 3 years, he sent me. It wasn't a suspect. Once I got thrown into traffic, and the other time I got ran over because he doesn't have any brakes on his boots. But you know what? I've always wanted to do this job, and it's not a job.
You need to hang out with people smaller than you. That's what the problem is.
I thought I was a decent sized guy until these decent sized guys came in, and then I'm like that. Let me explain something to you. It's not just like Ron White says. It's not. It's how many we're going to use.
Sure.
Look at them.
Well, and I imagine that's an advantage for you because let's face it. If I roll out the car and look at someone, they're not feel intimidated enough to not get lippy with me. Right. You roll up, I'm a little less apprehensive to get mad. I'm just saying.
That's a show of.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't. Yeah. And you haven't uttered one word or said one thing, but just the fact that this giant of a man comes walking up to you, you're gonna. I better behave myself.
Well, and the little whispers we give. Look, you see that man? He hasn't eaten. He's upset. He's cranky. He's not in the best of mood today. Sure. And he's coming this way.
But sometimes,
I'm here to save your life, sir. No.
But it gets you the chance to be the gentle giant sometimes, and that's when because first they're intimidated, and then you talk, and now they fall in love with you and treat you like a cuddly bear. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you get that in your life all the time.
It prevents that from escalating a lot of the times.
But it doesn't hurt when a 6-foot+ man comes rolling up on you and you're like, "We got a problem here," and it's like, "No, sir, we do not."
And it goes back to that never take things personal.
Yeah.
We've heard of troopers or even deputies anywhere saying, "How dare you speed on my highway?" That is not your highway, and that is your duty. For the safety to run the traffic.
And to me, that's a military mentality. Like, I'm going to guess you guys that kind of are in law enforcement that have that probably also spent time in the military.
This is my land. This is my country.
And that's a military mindset.
Sure.
And to be honest, in the military and law enforcement, not the same job. You have a different mindset for military than you do in law enforcement. Law enforcement are going to be doing more dangerous things on any given day than probably a military.
We're in a battle every day.
Unless you're in war, the rest of the time they're,
We live in a hot zone.
Trust me, I was in the Air Force. I know exactly what you did when you weren't doing fighting things.
Sure.
It usually involves throwing things at people and spiking various drinks with nasty stuff and doing shenanigans. I know that's what we were doing.
Putting the X-Lax on the donuts and things like that. Gotcha. But I don't want to take up all the time. I'd like Lieutenant Drake to talk a little bit about what he has going on or what we have going on at the Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, give us the update.
As far as the ODWI and things, summer's around the corner.
We are in the season. Graduation's around the corner. Of course, we just had the every 15 minutes campaign here in the Dexter this year, about a month ago here, and we're got season graduation.
Absolutely,
the checkpoints are going to be out. The sheriffs and law enforcement in general will be out and about.
Yes,
Memorial Day. Tis the season, a busy season for you guys when it comes to drinking and driving, texting and driving, doing things that you aren't supposed to be doing, and then driving.
Absolutely.
And we ran 2 checkpoints this last week. Got a couple of DWIs.
And we're so thankful for that because that's we got to, because you're saving lives. People drunk driving, and to be honest, when we were kids, and I say Charles Eastless and I, when we were kids,
we're same age.
I think Charles
35,
Drake
aren't we?
we're both 35. And back when we were kids, drinking and driving, the education wasn't like that. People didn't wear seatbelts when we were kids.
We didn't even have them in some vehicles.
Yeah. Right. And so, so people of that generation, okay, you get to pass it then. But there has been, since in the 30-plus years since then, there has been so much education on the dangers of this stuff. And there is no excuse for anyone at this point to be, I don't care if you're old and you're like, we always, no, not anymore. And unfortunately, people think they can drink 1 beer or 2 beers and they're fine. And you know what? Maybe you are. But your reaction time is slower. Everything's slower and you're going, it's Russian roulette. If you're going to do that, at some point, it's going to hurt somebody or yourself.
And we did a checkpoint on South Main on Sunday, and there's a new memorial there for the last fatal.
Reminding people of exactly why we're out here.
It just shows why we're doing that.
Yep. And I hope you guys, like when you do catch, see that memorial over there?
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're not that tonight.
Right.
And that's exactly what we're talking about here.
And we're out there, with their signs set up, the lights are going. We're not hiding anywhere. It's preventative. And people don't realize the .08, and one of the things that we want to stress is .08, that's an administrative number. That is the administrative portion of your driver's license. Your driver's license is issued to you. It's not given to you.
Absolutely.
They reserve the right to revoke it.
Yeah, it's not a right that you have.
Buzz driving is drunk driving to the slightest degree is what it says of impairment. And if you're not a normal drinker and you have a beer, you might be.
It will affect you.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. Especially to eat or and it's an empty stomach.
Your motor skills.
There's a lot of variables there.
And it ain't just the alcohol.
Yeah.
And marijuana is legal, but not to drive on.
Well, we've seen them on prescription drugs. We've seen them on.
And that's probably, is that shifting to be where you're seeing, when we talk about DUIs, is it more cannabis or is it still alcohol?
We still have the alcohol, but it definitely has increased the.
And like, how do you guys, like, because I know obviously the testing and everything is way different for cannabis than it is for alcohol. And quite frankly, probably trickier because, you can't blow into something and say, yeah, you're high, and to be honest, someone that's on weed is going to show weed in the system all the time.
Sure.
So you can't tell if they're high or just on, they just
they're
smoke weed.
Right.
Yeah, just a
right.
weed smoker.
We have our basic field sobriety tests that are, I guess,
good indicators.
With
they
NHTSA,
differ a little.
But then we have alternative tests. So we have this thing that's called advanced roadside impairment. That is a class that we send our guys to. And it teaches them to run tests to determine if they're under the influence of drugs.
Okay.
So
it's not wave Funyuns at them and say,
yeah. It's
the ones that grab it.
It's that Dorito now. I have this Dorito.
Right.
Sir? No.
You need to put your hands behind your back.
But it tests, those tests are for all narcotics, all drugs.
Sure. Yeah, it's
to a
meth
degree.
or cannabis or whatever it is. Or fentanyl.
And another
forbid.
thing on
God
the
forbid.
checkpoints, if you're approaching a checkpoint, go through the checkpoint. We have officers.
They know
around-
when they see you turning around and doing all that
have
nonsense.
That's called a clue.
We have officers that are down there that if you turn around in the checkpoint or go around the road closed sign that we put up for it, that we're going to stop you.
That's a red flag. They're going to know. The sheriff's department's not new. They know
We call
what's
it a
going
clue
on.
in this business.
Yeah, we had one on South Main that did that, and then we found a bunch of fentanyl on. So
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
It's so, so please be aware. They're going to be looking. They're going to out there on patrol. They're going to be doing these checkpoints.
Absolutely.
And we, the public, report too. If you see people driving funny and things, please call 911. Call the sheriff's department. Let's get law enforcement on them. Yeah, and I see it quite often. It's very and all the law enforcement, whether state sheriffs, Roswell police, anything. You call 911 and say, "Hey, I'm on Main Street and there's some guy weaving all over the place." I guarantee sheriff's deputies, RPD, state police, whoever's
They're
closest,
going to have a lot
will
of
be
different
there
colored
within
cars
minutes.
with lights.
right,
Yeah.
and we're running patrols and checkpoints for the rest of May, and our guys are out there full force.
Yep.
We want to prevent those fatal accidents. And
Absolutely, yeah. It's all about saving lives.
It is.
We sure, the deterrents are bad. The driver lock, the suspend, all that's bad and bad business, and you don't want none of that. But at the end of the day, we don't want you killing nobody or yourself.
Yeah, the tickets
and
are...
to see the
we can get
amount
past the breathalyzers and all that.
Yeah.
You can't get past the light.
And it's not
loss.
about a ticket. We don't get a percentage of the ticket.
Yeah, you don't
That
get a
has nothing-
quota. It's not like, we got to say that.
It has nothing to do with
No,
it. We
it's not that.
want you to see your family and your family to see you.
Mm-hmm.
And the deputies and the sergeants are doing a fantastic job in conducting these patrols.
Absolutely,
They are.
Yeah, our law enforcement in southeast New Mexico, and this is across the board, state. We have some great, fine people that are serving and protecting us, and get pulled in a lot of directions, and get political from time to time, and none of that should be involved in law enforcement.
No,
it's about
and we
serving
want to
protect.
thank. I apologize, and we want to thank, before I forget, those restaurants in the area that provide food to the deputies during their road.
You guys are so awesome. I've seen it firsthand. We had
Domino's. We had
Subway.
Subway.
We had El Toro Bravo. They've donated food for these checkpoints.
And like when I went on patrol with you guys a couple of years ago, they went into Domino's and they're like, no, your money's no good here. Here's your pizza.
And also a shout out to Admiral Beverage and LNF because they provide the drinks and stuff for those checkpoints.
Yeah,
So
we are very thankful for the backers of the Blue.
Yeah.
We see the world we live in, and we see generally how law enforcement is kind of looked upon in our society today. Yeah. And I am so happy to say that I don't think that's the case in southeast New Mexico. Sure, you got your one-offs in it. There's going to always be one or two, but as a whole, I see it time and time again. There's a cop car at a drive-through, and someone said, they just paid for that guy's food.
Growing up here,
that stuff happens all the time here, and that is so cool.
Yes,
and it's unsolicited. That's right. It's just people saying, those people save our bacon every day. Go buy them a cheeseburger.
Growing up here, going to school here, people, and you recognize people, and you're friends with people, and sometimes you have to tell your friends, slow down. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to tell your friends you messed up.
Yeah.
But the reality is that we live here. We're
absolutely. That also helps.
It does.
Because like if you're high school buddies, we're buddies in high school, and now they're going to talk to you in a way that's more receptive to someone that was a stranger. So,
sure.
And that's again part of what we talked about at the beginning. Why these deputies are sitting at the carnivals and at every public event. We want a presence. Just to be there to say, hey, how can we help you?
Yeah, they say, we didn't do this. This wasn't around when we were right, but things have changed and evolved from when we were their age.
Yeah,
and it happens.
You have to, we unfortunately we live in a world where law enforcement's been looked at as authoritarian. And yes, to a point, that's at the end of the day, when law and order is not happening, guess who's going to restore it? Law enforcement.
That's right.
Yeah. But that's
it's in the name.
That's kind of the last resort when they have to go. We want to solve the problem before it gets to people getting arrested or God forbid, someone getting hurt.
We'd much rather talk you into the car, talk you into the cuffs, than either way you're going to go.
And
the
quite
way
frankly,
you go is up to you, and it's a lot easier on both.
And we're
of
still
us.
cracking down on the street racers.
Oh, yeah.
That's the other thing.
That is the amount we're seeing is.
I get it. You like the race,
drastically
and guess what? Charles is a car guy.
I am a big car guy.
Sorry,
If it
Charles
has-
Eastless is a car guy.
and you know, I swear
I don't fit in the cars.
I swear I wash my knuckles. They just look like this, okay? But I lowriders, Mopars. I have a 67 Barracuda.
Yeah.
A 48 lowrider bomb.
Yeah, he's got those
the
cars that you're
motorcycles,
only allowed to look at for 5 minutes. Like, don't touch it.
I'm that guy off of that vampire movie where I say, you want to go to town? Get in, grandson. We start it. All right, that's enough. That's as close as we're going. But you know, here's the thing. There's a place for that.
Yeah.
And I understand that it's hard and that there for a while the Alien Dragway, they had some things going on where they weren't able to
But they're always looking for more people.
Always.
So please take it there. That's
Because-
exactly what it's for. They
Yes.
would love to have you part of the club because guess what? They also work on the track out there.
Absolutely.
And you could turn it into your next passion.
Sure.
Legally and safely on the track. And do it there.
I tell people like this. If you're a car guy or a gun guy, which I'm both, I don't go out at the corner and shoot up the stop sign to test out the gun or, make sure that it's
That's
sighted
a public
in.
safety problem.
The same thing with your car. Don't go to the intersection and do donuts. Don't race on the roadway.
Yeah.
It's not. People don't understand. Bragging rights will get you killed, and that's what they're after, and that's what we've seen.
And every person that's lost their life doing this, they didn't think they were thinking what you're thinking. Oh, it's fine.
Let me
It'll be
tell you.
okay until it isn't.
90% of them weren't the person that was involved in the racing.
And that's another thing, too.
And
It's an
that's-
innocent
and
bystander
that's-
or someone just happened to be in the wrong place
That's
at
right.
the wrong time.
And they don't realize until it happens to them or their family the magnitude of what has and we will.
It's not that we don't want you to have fun.
Right.
We get that. It's, by God, if you're out here doing something and a child or anyone loses their life just because when, it's a dangerous sport you're in anyway. Don't get me wrong. You go out
Absolutely.
to the track, you're still putting yourself at risk.
But don't put everyone else at
But you're
risk.
in a place where, A, there's medical people right there, and if something does happen, within minutes, someone's working on you. And B, the public is in the stands, not on the street.
Sure. and I'll
Yep.
put this out there and make it very clear.
Mm-hmm.
There are people, and this goes out to the street racing community. I want you to know that there are people within your group that will tell us where you're at. And so it's best to just not even
You got
do
rats.
it. Yeah. And it's not about secret squirrel stuff.
Sure.
It's about
saving lives.
prevention. And so I
Absolutely.
want you to know that it's that time when you think you're winning the race until the
Mhm.
lights come on that you find out that
Yeah.
you didn't win the race.
Yeah.
And what is that race gonna cost you? It's gonna cost you your tow bill. It's gonna cost you your freedom for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things. But luckily, it didn't cost you your life.
Absolutely.
And so what we're doing is preventative.
And I would even argue, if you watch all the Discovery Channel street racing shows and all that, every one of those shows you're watching, those are enclosed roads.
Yes.
It was all done legally. Even if they give you the appearance that it's outlaw racing, that's bunk. It's all
It's
legal.
all TV. It's television.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
reality TV.
Yeah.
The only reality about it is you're watching it.
Yeah,
That's the only
exactly.
reality to it.
Yeah, even the fights are trumped up.
Sure. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just, but yeah, that's it.
Absolutely.
I'm glad he brought that up. The street racing is we are not going to stop.
No, it's not. There's a
And-
zero tolerance for this
and,
because of the consequences that comes with it.
And it's not just us. The state police, the Roswell Police Department, they're running saturation patrols. The sheriff's office. The other night I went to Walmart and it was one of those 5-hour trips. But when I got out and we came back, it's 10:30 at night.
Sure.
My gosh, there was nothing on the roadway but
Yeah. And you
police
can hear
cars.
them. Like I
And
live
that's
I live
great.
over by Eastern Hospital there. And
Yes.
so I'm kind of in central town and I hear almost every night you'll hear the I mean, those are racing
and you're waiting
motors,
for the
those aren't-
boom
yeah.
at the end of it.
Yeah, you hear it every night.
Sure.
It's a problem. So
Sure.
we're out of time. I got to play political ads real quick. So
Not a problem.
But guys, thank you very much.
Thank you for having
what you
us. It's
do.
great to be
we'll see you
back.
here next time and stay
Yes.
safe out there and glad you're 100% again. That's awesome.
Thank
I feel young again. May not look it. May not be
well,
early
he's
in the
gonna
morning, but
take those. He'll push the envelope this weekend, and by
Yeah.
Sunday he's going to be complaining about some sort.
I guarantee you.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, 9:58. Quick break before news. Don't go away.
Senator Greg Nybert is the only candidate in the race for State Senate District 27 with a strong conservative record on border security and stopping illegal immigration. Greg Nybert has voted against free college for illegals. He's voted against professional licensing for illegals. He has stood strong against Michelle Lujan Grisham, turning New Mexico into a sanctuary state for drugs, crime, and criminals. He has fought to end catch and release for violent criminals and will continue to do so. New Mexico is at the center of a border crisis because our laws make us a haven for illegal immigrants, drug trafficking, and cartel activity. MLG's liberal agenda has unleashed terrible harm on our state. That's why a vote for Greg Nybert is a vote to take back our border security. Greg will keep fighting against the march of the radical left that threatens to harm our way of life. Vote for Greg Nybert, a proving conservative voice for State Senate.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
Mayday! 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 Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Trade in and trade up to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle for thousands less during May Trade Days at the all-new Roswell Ford. The all-new Roswell Ford has new management and a whole new attitude. And this week, any trade goes. Stuck in your loan or lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released, even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth, regardless of make or miles. Get huge savings on new Fords with rates as low as 0% for 66 months with no payments till July 4th. Plus, we have a great selection of low mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand financed on select models with approved credit.
The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop invites you to move on in and check out the fantastic selection of threads, fabrics, and patterns. Take advantage of a huge sale on Brother sewing machines. If you just want to tune up on your own machine, bring it on over for in-house maintenance. And with free lessons at the Calico Cow, you can learn from some of the absolute best. Let's keep the tradition and art of sewing going. The Calico Cow Fabric and Gift Shop, 200 East College in Roswell, right behind Farley's. Want to know how? Come see the cow.
What in the wide, wide world?
Southern Border. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Consumer sentiment, as measured by the University of Michigan, has tumbled to its lowest level in 6 months. Americans cite concerns about stubbornly high inflation and interest rates and fears that unemployment will rise. On Wall Street this hour, the Dow is 83 points higher, the NASDAQ down 34 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Time already served for a Chinese billionaire who tried to funnel money to some New York politicians.
56-year-old Hui Qin, a Chinese film magnate with homes in Manhattan and Long Island, was sentenced to 7 months in prison, matching the time he had served in pretrial detention since his October arrest. His lawyers say he later boarded a plane to an undisclosed location. Qin pleaded guilty to making illegal campaign contributions and other charges. Prosecutors did not name the politicians, but say that they included a candidate for a New York City office, a Long Island congressman, and a candidate for a Rhode Island congressional seat. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Iranians voting in a runoff election for the remaining seats in the country's parliament after hardline politicians dominated the balloting in March. People in 22 constituencies across the country will elect 45 representatives. News and analysis, townhall.com. Cost of borrowing for a home is down just a tad.
Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac says the average rate on a 30-year mortgage fell this week to about 7.1%. That's the lowest it's been since early April. It's still only down slightly from about 7.2% last week. The pullback follows a 5-week string of increases. Higher rates can add hundreds of dollars a month in costs on a home loan. So the recent overall upward shift in mortgage rates is an unwelcome trend for home buyers in what's typically the housing market's busiest time of the year. I'm Alex Vega.
Hawaii health officials say testing on West Maui residents shows no evidence of widespread lead exposure from last summer's wildfires. Blood samples were taken from more than 500 people to screen for the toxic metal after the deadliest U.S. wildfire in more than a century ripped through the town of Lahaina, killing 101 people. The health director says it's reassuring to know that people are not showing elevated blood lead levels. Townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Es invierno.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Friday, everybody.
And we mean happy.
Yeah, we made it to the weekend. I know we got baseball and all, but the overcast makes me happy.
I love
it. It's just nice. Nice change of pace. I hope it doesn't mess up weekend plans.
All you sunheads out there, don't worry, your days will be back. Let us overcast kings enjoy a couple of days of
but
this.
Hopefully it doesn't mess up. But yeah, we got all kinds of chances of rain tonight, tomorrow. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Also want to put on folks' radar here on May 13th, Monday, May 13th. March. Oh, there's not one, but really 2 meet and greets for candidates here. The Republican Party of Chaves County is having their monthly meeting. They normally do at Grace Community Church, 6 o'clock on Monday, and they're going to have a meet and greet with candidates. But also taking place on Monday, beginning at 6:30 p.m., is a candidates meet and greet and mingle and forum that's going to be happening at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center beginning at 6:30 p.m. They're going to start with a meet and greet mingle from 6:30 to 7 with the Senate forum candidates up front ready at 7 for the actual forum that will take place. They'll do a forum for the contested state Senate seats, District 27 and District 32. After that, a meet and greet mingle for candidates for House Party race, the contested 59 House race. They're going to have a meet and greet mingle with the candidates from the contested primary races for County Commission, District 2 and District 3, as well as they've invited uncontested candidates like your in the primaries, like some of your County Commission and clerk and district attorney
very good
positions there.
You said the House Party race? That's the one, it's kid versus play, right?
That's right.
Okay,
That's right. No, actually the newer one. The one with the other, whatever those kids.
I'm not going to be memorable enough to remember.
I watched half that movie.
Did
I
you
watched
really?
half of it. It was on
the
HBO
new
Max.
House Party?
I watched half of it. It was on, and I got bored and changed it.
I don't know, man.
But I watched it. There's some of it. That event, the event that's happening at the Convention Civic Center is sponsored by Cliff Pirtle and Conservative Voters for Chaves County. That event will also be live streamed and recorded by Spoken Words of New Mexico online as well.
Nice.
So just want to put that out there. And then don't forget Mom's Day Albertsons. If you're looking for flowers and stuff, visit the Albertsons on 2nd. They're on 2nd and Union. They have a beautiful floral section with, and they can do custom arrangements, gift baskets, balloon bouquets, even delivery. They do delivery as well, flower baskets and more. So stop by the Albertsons on Union and 2nd this weekend and get Mom specially hooked up for Mother's Day.
Absolutely.
And take care of that.
Absolutely.
So,
I'm looking up the cast of the new House Party, and this guy is in everything. Andrew Santino.
Okay.
He's
don't ring a bell.
He's the ginger. He's a white dude who's got like red hair. That guy.
Okay.
He's in like everything. Like I've seen him pop up in like 3 of the last 5 movies I've watched. He's just like everybody's random friend.
He's in that too?
He's in this too, yeah, in House Party. Although I got to say I'm a little upset that I didn't see either kid or play.
You know,
although I don't know what their actual names are, so maybe
to be honest, I think they do make a cameo in that thing.
I mean, they kind of have. Oh wait, okay, yeah.
I feel like they did.
Yeah, Christopher Reed. That is his kid, I think, because I've seen him on a couple of things. So yeah,
I feel like they did make a cameo in that movie. So I don't remember. It was so unmemorable. I just remember it was it's a house party at LeBron James's house and in the ring and all this but I really don't remember much about it. It really was underwhelming to me.
It's like, so do we need another house party movie when we've already done This Is the End? That was the ultimate house party movie.
You know, I watched that movie a couple times, and it's literally a who's who of Adam McKay comedy.
Yeah, it's just here. Let's have a 90 minutes where we can roll out.
But that movie is a complete and utter train wreck.
Yeah,
it's poorly written. The jokes are marginally funny. It was just a chance to crowbar as many stars to do something completely stupid for 2 hours.
Yeah.
That was it. I don't think that movie was even meant to make money. I think it was literally some guys that said, I got some cameras and we got some famous friends. You want to make a goofy movie? Because the storyline's stupid. Everything's dumb about it.
Here's the funny part.
It's like a bunch of funny people just said random funny things and said, oh, we should put all this in a movie. And it just doesn't make sense.
The way I've heard the story, I'm not sure how much truth there is to this, but the way I've heard the story is one of the guys from the Backstreet Boys approached Seth Rogen and said, hey, we want to do something with you guys. The Backstreet Boys want to do something with you guys.
A collaborative between Seth Rogen and the Backstreet Boys.
And he knew he had the Backstreet Boys on the hook. So he wrote the final scene for this movie and worked his way back.
Oh, okay.
So the whole scene in, spoiler alert, in heaven with the Backstreet Boys.
Yes.
That was the only that was the main
movie.
Scene from that movie. He's like, oh, I got the Backstreet Boys.
To be honest,
now let's see who else I can get.
That makes sense.
Right?
Now that you say that, I'm like, okay, now I know how the movie and why the movie is the way it is.
There you go.
It's not a cinematic masterpiece. It's really just one raunchy joke after another for 2 hours. And then, spoiler, Backstreet Boys and Heaven and
Channing Tatum on a dog collar.
Yeah, and all that nonsense. But it's just a weird movie.
It's a very
it's just a weird
odd movie. Yes.
Like, people's personalities are stupid in that thing. It's just weird. It's just like people, like if the real end of the world was coming, they don't act like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they just act like it's another day. And we got to kill it. I mean, it's just so
I would argue
matter of factly.
If the end of the world was, if the apocalypse was happening, the people who would probably be the least ready to like prepared for it are the uber rich, because they don't have to like live in the world like the rest of us.
Very true.
So that movie might actually be more true to life, true to form than we're giving it credit.
Maybe
this is exactly how they would deal with it.
That's quite possible. So maybe. Do we have a guest? I thought I heard a phone ringing and all that, but I can't tell.
There's something. Yes, I believe so.
Good deal.
Yes.
Is that the library? Ladies from the library? I can't tell.
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Good deal. I thought I heard things going on, but everyone's so quiet, so I'm kind of can't tell.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. Dude, I saw like I haven't seen a Circle K in a really long time. You know, living here in Roswell. I went to Las Cruces recently. I'm like,
the one we had's no longer.
Yeah, it's that's a sad visage of what it used to be. But I saw a Circle K. I'm like, oh hey, a Circle K. And then like across the street was another one. There's like 60 Circle Ks in Las Cruces.
They are Circle K strong.
You can actually give somebody directions of saying, go to the Circle K, turn left at the Circle K, go down to the Circle K, and then take a right. And then you just look for a Circle K, and you'll know you're in the right spot.
Exactly. So
they're everywhere.
They are, and well, and I keep seeing the Speedway commercials with all the 7-Eleven products. And that's throwing me off.
I think that's what's going to happen with Stripes.
You
That
think
they're going to
so?
keep the branding. This is how I understand. They're going to keep the branding, or it's going to be a slow transition.
Okay.
But they're going to get the products, the big gulps,
because I was seeing it, and
Slurpees.
for me, when I see Slurpee and Big Gulp and Big Bite, I think 7-Eleven, not Speedway, which I guess is the West version of 7-Eleven.
It's their DBA in that area.
Gotcha. Okay. So, all right, but I'm it's hard for me to wrap my head around it because I grew up in such the 7-Eleven world.
This is a brave new world we live in, sir.
So I guess I'm going to eat a big bite at a Speedway. Weird times. All right. It's 8:15. We're going to talk, get updates, what's happening at the Roswell Public Library here in just a few seconds. But before we do any of that, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Temperatures will stay fairly cool this weekend. We have a low developing over our area. Mix of sun and clouds and mid-70s today. We could get a shower or thunderstorm overnight, and we're in the upper 50s. Looks like a good chance of rain and thunderstorms rolling through on Saturday, and we'll stay in the upper 60s. Lingering shower Saturday night. We're back to sunshine on Sunday, low 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 57 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 53%. Winds currently out of the north at 13 miles per hour. Partly cloudy and 73 for today. Winds will be out of the northeast 10 to 15, shifting to the southeast later this afternoon. Tonight, rain enters the forecast. We are looking at a 60% chance at showers and thunderstorms tonight. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 58 degrees. Southeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. They're saying expect less than a tenth of an inch of rain tonight unless we get a thunderstorm. Then that'll change that. For your Saturday, we're looking at a 60% chance at rain, showers, thunderstorms, the whole nine. Mostly cloudy with a high of only 68 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the southeast 10 to 15 miles per hour. They're calling for anywhere between a tenth and a quarter of an inch of rain tomorrow, unless we get a thunderstorm, then that'll alter that. 40% chance for showers and thunderstorms Saturday night as well, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 58. Southeast winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly sunny and back into the low 80s on Sunday, 83 for a high there. South winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 by Sunday afternoon. And then Monday, when you head back to work and school, we are looking at sunny skies and a high of 84. All right, it is 17 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Well, not quick, a commercial break. Sorry, it's political season, a lot of ads, baseball tonight. I get all the commercials. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll talk with the folks from the Roswell Public Library. Don't go away.
You may be wondering why an Eastern New Mexico rancher wants to be part of our state Senate. The answer is simple. I want our conservative values heard in Santa Fe. My name is Pat Boone, and I'm running for New Mexico Senate District 27. This beautiful state is primarily rural land, and my family's been ranching here since 1884. I'll fight for your land rights, your parental rights, and your right to bear arms. I'd appreciate your Republican primary vote on June 4th.
Paid for by the committee to elect Pat Boone, Mark McKay, Treasurer.
Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture, and I want to tell you about our store-wide sale happening now. All items in every department are on sale. Upgrade your living space with power reclining sofas and love seats or beautiful sectionals with charging ports. Create ambience with amazing table and floor lamps. Get that long-awaited restful night's sleep with a new Serta mattress. Every department is on sale from our existing prices, so come down to Glenn's Furniture on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
They're watching you. They see your social media posts. They follow your family, your friends, and your interests online because they're planning on taking your money. All of it. They're con artists. They'll use your social information to build your trust and lure you into once-in-a-lifetime investments with promises of high guaranteed returns. But it can be avoided. The Securities Division of New Mexico's Regulation and Licensing Department can help. Learn to spot the red flags of investment scams at rld.nm.gov/red flags or call 505-476-4580.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
It's Kubota Orange Days. Shop the year's best selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA. And now, through June 30th, get 0% APR for 84 months and up to $2,500 off BX23S tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Visit Amigo Machinery, located at 2801 Southeast Main Street, Roswell.
What made Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico for 2023? Great selection, great savings, and great people. Roswell Hyundai has an amazing selection of makes, models, and model years to choose from. If you can't find it, Roswell Hyundai can get it. And Roswell Hyundai will take any trade. The experts at Roswell Hyundai will work with you to get you behind the wheel of your next dream ride. So, what makes Roswell Hyundai the #1 used car dealership in southeastern New Mexico? You do! Come check out the Used Car Supercenter only at Roswell Hyundai, 1909 West 2nd.
Pressure Services LLC in Artesia has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL or Class D CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and be at least 25 years of age. All positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screen. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contributions toward health benefits. Please apply in person at 402 West Main in Artesia, inside the Age Safety Facility. Equal Opportunity Employee.
Mulan has the highest kill count of any Disney character. When asked for comment, Buzz Lightyear responded, "To infinity and beyond." Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and Caitlin back with us from the Roswell Public Library this morning. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
Good.
Thank you.
I should have told you. Probably move that microphone, or you can move it up to your mouth just to get a little closer to you so they can hear you better. These mics aren't, they keep from people yelling out there and talking and get on the air, so we have to kind of put them right up to your mouth.
All right.
But first off, it's been a month or two since I've seen you. How's life at the library this morning?
It's great.
Good.
It's great.
Good.
Moving along.
Of course, it's a busy time of year because we haven't started summer yet. We will be here in about 2.5 weeks, but a lot going on. I mean, there's activities and events pretty much every weekend or during the week. There's always. I mean, if you're looking for things to do, I highly recommend you pick up the library calendar because there's always something going on every week at the library.
Yes. Yeah. And during the summer, almost every day.
Yeah, we get summer reading program, and that's kind of what we want to wet people's beaks for is now that the kids are getting out of school here in a few weeks, one of the annual, I'll say, traditions or part of the Roswell Public Library is the summer reading program. And it sounds like you guys are going hog wild for this year's summer reading program and kind of taking it up a level.
Yes, we are. Yeah. So the registration for the summer reading program starts on the 28th, Tuesday the 28th of May. And so after registration, you'll get these passports. And so we have for the picture books and the juvenile fiction, we have passports.
Yeah.
And there's different activities. There's different types of books. And once you finish reading that doing that activity or reading that book, you get your passport stamped. And once you do, if you do 6 of the 8 activities in the passport, there's a raffle in the back, and then you can enter for the raffle. And for the passports, you get the winner gets a tablet.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And then we also have the teen summer reading program, which we've made a zine for this year. And then you do the same thing. You read 6 of the 8 books.
Obviously, your books are going to be more for teens.
Yes.
A little bit older, more mature level of reading there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you do all those requirements, you can enter to win a $50 Amazon gift card.
Nice, which I'm sure there's about 100 different things teenagers can put good use with that thing.
Absolutely, yes.
whatever you're into, you can find something. But what I love about it is cool because, and this is what, we want to encourage this reading during the summer, and adults too. I know we talk about, we kind of focus on kids a lot of this too, but certainly the adults, we like to, I know in years past and before, we like to get the parents involved in all this and be a part of that reading, especially, when you get to the young, elementary, pre-elementary, kind of preschool and that age, reading to your kids and all that counts as part of that too, in your infants and babies and stuff. We want you reading to your kids and getting them exposed to reading at the youngest age possible, because it just opens the world up to them. And there's enough science and everything out there to say people that read to their babies and do this kind of stuff, those children tend to be have better aptitudes at reading and other educational opportunities here. It really is the best thing you can do for your kids is exposing them as much reading in foreign language too. I always say, like when the library does preschool story time and they do the Spanish and English, I don't care what your native tongue is. Park your kids in both of those. Sorry, I got on another soapbox that I do here, but yeah, it's really cool. The summer reading program, I really recommend you get your family signed up for it here, and it sounds like you broke it down to even more. Okay, we got a special thing for our elementary, we got a special thing just for our teens and that kind of stuff too.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, and then the picture books for the little ones.
Yeah, for the young ones.
The parents reading the books to the kids. Yeah, so really fun. And alongside of that, we have tons of activities planned. Like every Tuesday, we're still doing Mother Goose on the Loose at 10:30 in the morning, and then the Spanish Mother Goose at 5. And then we've moved Music and Movement to Wednesdays. So we'll have preschool story hour at 10:30.
Okay.
And then right after that, Music and Movement. So we've moved that from Thursdays to Wednesdays because every Thursday we're going to have a different group come in and do an activity. So we have the Lubbock Science Spectrum. We've got a ventriloquist.
Nice.
We've got all kinds of activities. So that'll be 10:30 every Thursday this summer. Starting on the 6th.
That's part of yes, at the end of the day, we want you to read the books. That's what the summer reading program's about. But it's also to come explore the library. Come see it. And so we want you to come and do the science and do the fun ventriloquist stuff and all the, this is, your library is the best asset you have in this community, and it's all free to you. Yes. As long as you get a library card. And so please take advantage of it. Use it this summer. Use it for your family's growth and have fun with it with this summer stuff. This is your chance for your kids to read any books that they want in the library. They're not required to read a certain book for school or anything else. This is how you get them to say, all right, see this section of the library? Pick a book, any book. I don't care. Pick any book you want in there. And your kids can have it. And that's how you get them into reading, because they get to pick the things they want. They get to read about the things that they're into. And, school, just doing it in school doesn't foster the love of reading. You need to do it in the home with the families and all that kind of stuff. Sorry, another soapbox.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and also on Wednesdays with reading, we have Paws and Pages.
This is a fun thing, too.
This is really fun.
And this is relatively new in the last 6 months or so, I think.
It is, but they're really enjoying it. So now we have 3 dogs coming in now. We have Zoe, Beaumont, and Kiki.
Yeah.
And they're therapy dogs. So if you're kids...
I believe those are the DA dogs, aren't they? I think. Or are they the Casa dogs?
Yeah, the 2, Kiki and Beaumont.
Okay, those are the DA dogs, and one's a Casa dog or something like that. But anyway, they both have all the dogs have day jobs, and they serve in the courts, or they serve at the Casa, and helping families. But if you're not familiar with the concept, basically the dogs come, and we get to love on the dogs and pet, but the kids get to read to the dogs.
Yes.
And the dogs love it, because the dogs love the attention and the petting, and it gives the kids a chance to read without feeling like they're messy. Like dog doesn't care when they mess up. The dog, there's not an intimidation factor, and they get to out loud practice reading and do that and tell the dogs the story, and the dog just sits there and licks them in the face and lets them,
Yeah, it
have
helps
fun.
build the confidence of reading.
And who doesn't want to roll?
loud.
It's an excuse to roll around the floor with dogs.
Oh my gosh.
And everyone
They're so
wants
cute.
to do that.
They're so cute.
I'm telling you, parents probably get just as much hanging out with the dog as the kids do.
Oh, yes.
But when is the dates on that again?
So they are we're going to have those on Wednesdays.
Okay, so every Wednesday, come and come read with the dogs.
Yeah, well, right now they're on Thursdays, but we're switching it this summer.
Starting this summer, yeah.
Yes.
So if you want to do it probably through the rest of this month, maybe?
Yes.
Then it'll be on Thursdays?
Yep, and then
Perfect.
starting the 12th.
Excellent, very good.
Okay. Yeah, and then coming up recently, so tomorrow, we have our Charlie Kurt event.
Okay.
Which we're going to be making hummus.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
so recommended 10 years and older,
All
or
right.
if you have for younger, maybe with your parental guidance.
Do you have a go-to hummus? Like what you put in it? Or like what you get within it?
No, I just like regular hummus, or maybe with a little red pepper.
I kind of like, weirdly enough, when they put the olives or the pine nuts in it. Those
yes.
kind of give me, it's like crunch factor
Nice
to it.
texture,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of like it. But anyway, sorry.
I'm
You talk about
excited.
food, I'm going to get distracted.
Well, come make some hummus. Yeah.
But and of course the kids get, and of course if kids don't know what hummus is, now we get to learn them on hummus and say, hey, here you go.
Yeah.
And you can show them all the different ways you can do things with hummus. So.
Yes.
Excellent. But and this is again back to those family things, getting the kids involved, coming in, and again, this is free of charge. Do they have to pre-register anything, or just come
Nope.
first come first serve?
It's just walk-in class.
Excellent. Very good. What's next on the calendar here?
So next Saturday, I have a STEAM class on drones.
Okay.
So I have partnered with the Civil Air Patrol.
All right.
So we're going to have some of the cadets in, and they're going to bring some drones. We
Okay.
have some drones. You get to put on some VR goggles and fly in first-person view with drones.
Oh,
you get
cool.
to try testing out flying a drone and learn all about drones.
You're going to have probably just as many adults as kids are wanting to be part of this. You know what I mean? Because it sounds pretty cool. So,
Yeah.
so if you're into drones or interested, or maybe you just found your new passion and hobby is drones. So come on out for that event here too.
Yeah, and that'll be at 11 o'clock next Saturday.
Excellent. So put on. And by the way, the calendar that all these events on, you can come by the library and pick up a calendar to put on your refrigerator. It's available online too if you're more into high-tech digital. But if you're still old school and like, nope, I want it printed off and put it on the refrigerator so we all know what's going on, you can swing by the library and pick that calendar up too. And that way, you can have your reminder when don't forget next Saturday's the drone thing. We got to be there for that. So,
Yes.
So that way you can stay abreast, because I know it's really hard to remember all this in 20-minute setting here.
Oh, yeah. So we have it on Facebook. We have it on Instagram.
Yeah. So go back and follow those and like those, so you can whatever you missed, hear what we talked about back there. So, good deal. Anyway, sorry. Next thing.
The 24th, Friday, we have Towel Day.
This is fun. We actually had the Galacticon. We had Elaine and the folks come in to talk about Towel Day weekend. And so, but on Friday, the 24th is the free day part, where they're going to have and if you don't know what Towel Day is, it's actually the 25th.
Yes.
And it's internationally celebrating, and it's Douglas, his last name's escaped me. He's the author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yes.
And of course, we all know the 42 and the lore of Hitchhiker's Guide. And so it's internationally celebrated. And so Towel Day is the 25th. But the library is going to have fun free event for families on the 24th.
Yes, absolutely. And wear your best cosplay if
Yes.
you want, or just
Or at
bring
least
a
a
towel.
Bring a towel. That's because, and you've wondered what's the towel. If you know the story, the towel's pretty much like your secret to everything. Like if you need it for this, it helps with this. It's kind of the towel is, if you got a towel, you'll be all right in life.
Yes. It's the most resourceful tool of a hitchhiker.
Yeah. So if you don't know the story, that's what it means. But we'd love to invite you to come out to the library. What time is everything starting out at the library on that Friday?
Yeah, everything starts at 3.
Okay.
So we're going to have a little reading of the excerpt. We're going to have the cosplay attire. We're going to have a cosplayer come.
Yeah.
And we're going to have bad poetry reading.
Yes. What do they call it? Vogel poetry or whatever, but it's part of the lore.
Mhm.
And yes, the whole point is to have really bad poetry.
Yes.
So
Bring
have
out
fun
your
with
worst
that.
poetry.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
But yeah, so come, and then of course, if you'd like to check out a copy of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, we'll have a few on hand at the library for you to check out as well too. So if you're like, what are these people doing with the towels and everything? Here's the book, read it.
Yes.
And of course, all the folks that are loving the towel, and then of course, for folks that are really into it, the Galacticon's doing their con of it the 25th, where you can go to the convention center and they'll have all kinds of more of the stuff you see at the library, but even more than that there too. But there is a cost to that. I think it's $10 to get in all that. But if you just want to kind of come and hang out and get involved, come out Friday 3 o'clock the 24th, and bring your towels, bring your cosplay, and come meet some cosplayers and like-minded hitchhiker guide lovers.
Yes.
Good deal. What's next?
Let's see. Every third Sunday,
Mhm.
I do an art class.
Okay.
So we're having abstract expressionism.
Okay. Is it a different medium of art each time, or
It is, or it's
okay.
following a different time period. So or a different period in art.
Okay.
So we've done, what have we done? We've done the Renaissance. We
Okay.
did minimalism.
Are you an art person? Like, do you do art on your own spare time and things like that?
Yes.
Cool. A paint?
That is my
or-
other job. Sculpture.
A
Performance.
sculpture. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. So this is your passion too.
It is, yeah. It's what I got my degree in. So that's
Nice.
what
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and she likes to read too, hence the librarian.
Oh, yes. yes.
Good deal. So now I got to ask, just gee whiz curious. When you got free time, you picking up a book or you working on an art project?
Depends on if I have a show. Like I have a show in Taos.
Okay.
So right now I'm in the studio.
Okay, so the less reading time, more studio
But I usually have an audiobook playing at all times. So
helps with the process.
yes.
I know enough artists to know that everyone has the one. Like I met some. He's a painter. In fact, he painted some of these. He blares the music.
Mhm.
He loves his '80s music that's blaring while he's painting. So I get it. Artists have their method.
Yes.
And if you mess up the method, you're messing up the art. Well, cool. So do you do anything around here for people can see? Is it all?
I mean, I have a piece. I was a resident, so I have
Okay.
a piece at the Anderson. And
Okay, so come by and see Caitlin's work over there too, and if you catch her at the library, want to talk art with her, as long as she's not busy, I'm sure she'd love to talk art with you.
Oh yeah,
She's not conducting a session or anything. But cool. So if you want to do some art with Caitlin here, who is an artist by I'd say your day job's still librarian, but your other job
Yes.
is artiste.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Did you always do that your whole life, like since a kid? When did you kind of get that bug?
I don't know. I think in undergrad I started
Okay,
glass
in
blowing.
college?
Yeah,
Okay.
we had a glass blowing facility.
Oh, and that was kind of the thing that.
Yeah.
Now, do you do glass? Is that your main thing, or?
I tried it. Didn't.
It looks like it takes some skill.
It does. And I also don't like glass blowing and ceramics. You finish a piece and then you put it into a kiln and then you leave it to chance. I don't like that.
Yeah. Leaving it to fate. Although I did ceramics in high school, senior. I ain't gonna lie, I was pretty good.
Nice.
Like the teacher bragged on me. Just saying.
Wow.
Not trying to toot my own horn, but I was pretty good.
Nice. Well, Aria does a lot at the museum.
I haven't done it,
more.
but I seem to have a knack for it. I think I just haven't pursued it. I haven't had time. But anyway,
not my thing. I've tried and failed miserably a lot.
it's like I'll stick to the other freehand sculpture.
Yes.
Things like that. Although I think glass blowing would be a cool thing to learn.
It is. It was. It was
Like-
cool.
like-
It was fun.
I feel like you impress people when you have the power to create liquid into this vase or to the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, that seems cool.
Yeah.
You know, I feel not trying godlike, but feels a little godlike when you have those kind of abilities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I think that's what drew me in, and I was like,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah. Went on to
Yeah.
and I imagine the sculpture is just as cool because you get, I mean, it's literally playing with clay. You know what I mean? You get to, and you know, from an artist's perspective, I'm sure it's like you just take it wherever you want to.
Wherever you want.
And there's rules in art, but then there's no rules. And that's the beauty of art. You know, you can follow every rule or break every rule, and you're still doing art. That's the beauty of art.
Yeah. Same goes into my class. You can come, break all the rules, follow the rules.
You're still
We just
doing
have
it.
fun.
Yeah, come. You go get the bug. Come do it. So excellent. So come. You know, and again, these are first come, first serve. You don't need to pre-register. Just get the calendar, whether it's the physical one to put on the fridge or the one you have on your phone, or like and follow the library on Facebook and Instagram. Those are two. Do you do others besides Facebook, or those are the two main ones? I
Facebook
think?
and Instagram.
Yeah, so that way, like Kate was saying earlier, if you need a digital copy of all that, or if you go to the city's website, roswell-nm.gov, and click the library tab, which is there, that'll take you to the library's webpage, and you'll find the calendar and quite a few other things while you're there, too. So I recommend you check that out.
Yes.
So, good deal. By the way, there's so many things on the website that as long as you have a library card in good standing, you can check out. If you need audiobooks or tutoring help to music and videos, all of that is available online And as long as you have a library card in good standing, you can check them out. As long as they're not checked out. I know you're thinking, how do all the audiobooks get checked out? Well, you know how that works? People do need to get paid for their services. And so they do monitor how many checkouts. So the authors and publishers and people that are supposed to get paid. So
yes. And we do have Comics Plus. So if you like comic books, we have a whole comic book section.
Absolutely.
Online.
So you can do that way. You can kind of read. And then if you want to collect and buy the physical ones and spend that kind of money, you've already read the ones. That way you can read them online and not get your good ones dirty. And then one other thing I want to mention while we're talking about that is don't forget, if you go to the front desk at the library, they have the basically a pass through the New Mexico Department of Tourism, where this pass will get up to 6 people in various museums and other places around the state. There's a whole list of about 15 or 20 different places that you can go to, and you check it out like you would a library book. You get it for 1 week, and you have to return it. You can't renew it. You get it for 7 days. So ideally, if you're going on a trip around the state, you leave on Friday, maybe Thursday night or Friday morning, you pick the card up, and then return it when you get back from your trip there. But like Lincoln is one, like you can get in free up to 6 people into the Lincoln County, the courthouse and all that. I think the Nuclear Museum in Albuquerque's on that list. Various art museums around Albuquerque, Las Cruces, Santa Fe are also included on that list. When you go to the library, you can see the full list, but that's a checkout, first come, first serve. Good news is I think you guys have quite a few copies, so rarely do you run out of them. But they're available, and I know now that summer's hitting and people are going to take to the road, if you're going around road trips around New Mexico, we've got some stuff that you can do for your family for free.
Yeah.
Now
Taverns,
that's,
White
you know,
Sands.
like I know if you go to Lincoln, I think they charge about $15 a person. 6 of you, that's a lot of money. That's lunch.
Yeah.
For the family that you just saved right there. So take advantage of it. It's free charge.
Yes.
Good deal. Is there other things, or we get it all?
Yeah,
I know I was talking all over the place.
Yeah, I think we got most of it. Well, I don't know. Monday, Memorial Day, we're closed. But the next day after that, Wonders on Wheels is coming.
Excellent.
So, Tuesday the 28th.
Excellent. And explain to people what Wonders on Wheels is for those that don't know. This is kind of like it's like a bookmobile puppet show. It's like a whole thing.
It's a whole entertainment.
Yeah, it's
mobile.
a whole. But that'll be the day after Memorial Day. That I don't know what the date is on that, but the Monday after, the Tuesday after Memorial Day, whatever that Monday is. So
yes,
good deal. And then of course, like we said, like and follow the library on Facebook and Instagram. That way you can stay up to date, because they're constantly up to date. And it's like, hey, don't forget, we got this tonight, or we've got this weekend, or whatever it is. And then and of course, if you have questions, hey, does this cost anything, or do I need to bring anything? You can shoot those through the Facebook or Instagram, and staff will get to you as soon as human. Like if you do it at 2 a.m, no one's going to answer to you the next day. But during the day, there's people that check in on that too. And plus, it's a cool way to see the community, because every time there's these art projects and everything else, and the work of these kids and families, they like to take pictures and show everybody, and so you get to really see some of the cool stuff that everyone's doing at the library. So if you want to get jealous, go like it, follow it. Look, I wish I could do that. Come on out, you can, and it's free.
Yes.
The library is your best resource for families here, and like we talk about what's going on in school and things. If you're trying to get extra for your kids, extra teaching, extra tutoring, extra exposure to education, you need to partner with the Roswell Public Library, because everything they do is available to you free of charge. And if you need help with STEM stuff and things like that, there's packets, there's kits. Talk to the librarians, talk to the children's library, talk to the main librarian. They've got all kinds of resources. If you're a homeschool teacher and looking for resources, the library can help you with all of these things. Please take advantage of it. And again, free of charge.
Yes.
All you got to do is get a library card, and don't turn your books in late so you don't pay fees. But, do that. And by the way, they got the convenient drop off. So when the library's closed, you can drop off anytime. Now I'm warning you, it's got a little smart chip. It knows when you turned it in and all that, so you can't play I turned it in yesterday kind of thing. No, we know when you turned it in. But that being said, if you're out of town or and you're like, I can't get there before the library closes, they got the drop off. You can drop off your books 24/7. So
yes,
good deal.
Yeah.
And of course, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to call. What's the phone number to the library there?
It is 575-622-6666. 7101.
Very good. But like you said, you could probably find most of your information either on the Roswell Public Library Instagram or Facebook pages, or if you go to roswell-nm.gov, and there's a tab for the Roswell Public Library. Click that, and you'll probably find everything you need to go there, too.
Yes.
Come be a part. Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm sure you got a few fires to stomp out at the library as we speak. She does have a summer reading program to get ready for.
Well,
and
today's my day off, so.
So you get to go home and enjoy the world. Back to the grind tomorrow.
Yeah.
So she's back. You're back to sculpting.
Yeah, I got to make a piñata.
Ooh.
My son's birthday.
A functioning piñata?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's out of paper mache, not clay. Cool. Has he requested a certain character or something?
Yeah, from Battle Cats. So.
Battle Cats. I don't know that one.
It's
I'm a little old for that one, I think.
Yeah.
Is it like Thundercats? I know Thundercats.
Everyone, I don't know. It's just they got their cats and they battle, so he needs a big cat with an axe piñata.
Well, as long as the kid's happy, that's all that matters.
Yes.
I know when the kid's happy, the parents are happy. Very good. Well, thank you, Caitlin, as always, and have fun with your piñata.
Thank you.
Take a picture. I want to see your piñata.
All right, I will.
Thanks, Kate.
You're welcome.
All right, it is 9:44. Man, this morning is zipping by. It's already 10 o'clock. Let's do this. Let's pause for news, your Sean Hannity update. Quick break as well. Don't go away.
Now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Sorello. The Clovis murder and kidnapping suspect reportedly told the FBI in 2023 that he would, quote, murder a bunch of children, unquote. 26-year-old Alex Collins is accused of taking a baby after killing 2 women and seriously injuring another child at a park near Clovis. And now we're learning of the man's past run-ins with the law. Court documents also tell us that police used cell phone records and vehicle GPS data to track Collins back to Abilene, Texas. Finally, the court documents say Collins called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center and told them if the agency last year didn't help him find his daughter, he would, quote, murder a bunch of children. El Rito Media has purchased 3 Gannett newspapers throughout New Mexico, giving the media company 5 newspapers. The Alamogordo Daily Press, Carlsbad Current Argus, and the Ruidoso News will now be part of the El Rito Media Group. They had been Gannett newspapers. El Rito Media formed in 2022 with the purchase of the Rio Grande Sun, and last year it bought the Artesia Daily Press. A news release from El Rito says the primary focus of the papers will be local news and opinion. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Your morning espresso starts right here. It's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
The White House puts out official transcripts whenever the president speaks. And in this folks, imagine what we can do the next 4 more years. Pause. The way they write it up in the official transcript. 4 more years. Inaudible. Now, let's play that again because it sounds very audible to me when he says pause. You decide.
Imagine what we can do next. 4 more years. Pause. 4 more years. 4 more years.
What do you call that, Linda? Propaganda, misinformation, lying, all the above?
I mean, I call it lying. I think lying really sums it up well.
The Sean Hannity Show from coast to coast later today.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Temperatures will stay fairly cool this weekend. We have a low developing over our area. Mix of sun and clouds and mid-70s today. We could get a shower or thunderstorm overnight, and we're in the upper 50s. Looks like a good chance of rain and thunderstorms rolling through on Saturday, and we'll stay in the upper 60s. Lingering shower Saturday night. We're back to sunshine on Sunday, low 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Report. With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Honda reports profits for the fiscal year through March jumped 70% as its vehicle sales grew and a weak yen bolstered overseas earnings. The Japanese automaker says annual profit totaled $7 billion as sales surged nearly 21%. The British economy bounced back strongly in the first 3 months of the year, ending what economists had termed a technical recession. The Office for National Statistics says the economy grew by 0.6% in the first quarter from the previous 3-month period. An annual survey of more than 500 European companies finds that slowing growth in China is weighing on company plans to expand their businesses in the world's second largest economy, although China still ranks high as a place to invest. It was a higher open this morning for Wall Street. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
In southeast New Mexico, our state senator Greg Nybert has a strong conservative record, supporting the right to life, working to protect our conservative values, and standing up for the Second Amendment. That's why he's endorsed by the NRA. Greg Nybert has a record of opposing the liberal progressive Santa Fe agenda. He has consistently stood against illegal immigration, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham's harmful progressive agenda, and policies that try to take away our rights and freedoms. He has stood up for us time and time again, especially when our rights have been under attack. Greg is a champion for our communities, our values, and our way of life. Greg Nybert has a record that we can count on. He is a strong supporter of our oil and gas jobs, which is so essential to southeast New Mexico. We need Senator Greg Nybert in Santa Fe. He is a proven, committed conservative and a strong voice for eastern New Mexico.
Paid for by Greg Nybert for State Senate.
There are 3 key phrases that need to be spoken on a regular basis in a healthy marriage. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, for over 20 years, Julie and I have been sharing these 3 key phrases, and here they are. I love you, I'm sorry, and I forgive you.
Ephesians 4:32 says, be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as in Christ, God forgave you.
You know, it's so easy to expect others to love us, to say I'm sorry, and to forgive us. But you know, it's really a gift that we give each other. You know, the Bible teaches us we sow and we reap. Sow into your spouse, I love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry. And then you'll reap a harvest in return. Someone has to start the process. Let that be you today so you can really enjoy your marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Are you or a loved one having a hard time getting to your medical appointments? At Artesia General Hospital, we believe that transportation should never be a barrier to good health. That's why we're excited to announce our new non-emergency medical transportation services. Each of our vans is wheelchair accessible, and our friendly certified drivers go the extra mile by meeting you at your doorstep and ensuring a comfortable ride to your Artesia General Hospital services. Rides are available Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Schedule your ride today by visiting artesiageneral.com/transportation or calling 575-736-8211.
You may be wondering why an Eastern New Mexico rancher wants to be part of our state senate. The answer is simple. I want our conservative values heard in Santa Fe. My name is Pat Boone, and I'm running for New Mexico Senate District 27. This beautiful state is primarily rural land, and my family's been ranching here since 1884. I'll fight for your land rights, your parental rights, and your right to bear arms. I'd appreciate your Republican primary vote on June 4th.
Paid for by the committee to elect Pat Boone, Mark McKay, Treasurer.
At UNM, Lobos are building the future every day. Together, we're reimagining water sustainability, engineering the future of healthcare, pushing for progress and inspiring a generation of minds. Ignite your future at apply.unm.edu.
Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. Not sure which is your dominant hand? Just wait. You'll nail it. Here's Mike Winters.
I've been waiting for a month. Good morning. It is 53 minutes after 9 o'clock. Got a few minutes here before we wrap up today's show.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Busy weekend.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. I'm I still have not watched that Unfrosted movie. I've got to make that a goal this weekend to watch.
Oh, really? I thought you had watched.
I've seen the trailers.
Okay.
I've done everything, but actually watched it.
All right.
And because, to be honest, it's either going to be really good or really awful, and I'm not really sure which way it's going to go yet.
I get the feeling it's going to be the latter.
You think?
They've
but
done
it's
this.
Seinfeld.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's Seinfeld.
It's not going to be Seinfeld. Good. They've done this format a lot, and I think it's started to kind of run its course.
Yeah.
I mean, biopics are great, but I feel like the founder biopics are starting. Like, I haven't seen Flamin' Hot yet.
I haven't either.
But I've heard it's Flamin' Hot garbage.
I've heard not good things about it as
right.
well, too.
So I'm not really sure. And honestly, that's technically not really the true story.
Sure.
Like it's some guy in a corporate office that came up with the idea. But anyways, I digress. I will check it out, but I'm just not sure how I feel about it. So I await your review.
So this weekend, I got to make it a goal to sit down and watch this. And my wife wants to see it too. So that's
okay. Well, that helps.
Yeah, but then I got to coordinate.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's true.
But that and I just there's like so much TV I want to get to that I haven't got to.
See, and that's the thing. I have witnessed, like I will go over to my friend's house, and as they're trying to like choose a program, I have watched Will, the holder of the controller, go up and down on like from one streaming service, then jump to another streaming, and for like 25 minutes, they just like look for something to watch. I'm just like, this is not life.
I do that sometimes.
That's so overwhelming.
Sometimes I do that.
If
it's a Friday night, Kim's going to bed, I'm like, I want to watch something, I don't know what.
Uh-huh.
And then I end up spending a half hour going through all my streaming
And
things,
I remember being that guy when I had Netflix.
Yeah.
And it always just wound up with me watching Trailer Park Boys. That's what happens, man. I get tired of trying to find something.
A bunch of movies I want to see, but then I'm like, I'm not in the mindset to watch that right now.
I can't do a movie.
Yeah,
not right now.
Like, this is too serious for me.
Mm-hmm.
Or this is too stupid for me. I need something, and it's just like, and then I end up watching things that I didn't even intend to watch because I'm like, I'll just watch this instead, and it's kind of
that's why. And this is gonna sound like a real weird like guy perspective, I know, but that's why I love YouTube so much.
Yeah.
Because every time I go on YouTube, chances are one of the 100 or so, channels that I follow is going to have something interesting pop up right away, like right in my feed. So, and it's always something different.
Right.
So it really is the best, in my opinion, the best streaming service.
Sure.
Because whatever you're looking for, you can find on there.
Sure. I could see that.
Up to and including how-to videos, biographies, documentaries, romances, all that nonsense.
It's just more of user-created content.
Exactly.
And not, I don't know if the company.
But users are good now. Like, they're really good.
And this is part of me and my 50-year-old brain.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was trained a certain way to watch TV. And it's hard for me to let go of I'm watching a 30-second video for TV tonight. You know what I mean? It's like an hour of TikTok videos. That doesn't.
And in fairness, I have not had the YouTube ad-driven experience for quite some time because, yes, I pay for premium.
Baller.
I'm that guy. I won't pay for many streaming services, but I will pay for YouTube Premium just on the whole mindset that I don't want to sit through ads.
Yeah. Although now, like, formats are putting ads even when you pay for the
premium.
And
that's the beauty of it is they're now baked in. So like, we'll get to the headlines portion of the program in a minute, but now it's time to thank our sponsor of this program. It's like, this is a commercial.
Right.
But the good news is I can fast forward that. So it's fine. It's not a big deal.
I can do that.
Yeah, I can skip those ads.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm just lazy because I'm like, the remote's way over there. I don't want to do that. I'll just sit here and sit through it.
But yeah, I have fallen victim to that just so many times of just like
I'm so bad that I will even watch stuff on DVR and not fast for the commercials just because I'm like,
there's like 3 series I really want to start on Disney Plus, but it's all like, do I want to start it and then like sit through it? I don't know. I might fall asleep.
Can I commit the kind of time this needs for
Like
this?
that X-Men 95, I'm dying to watch. Or 97, I think it is. I'm dying to watch that. It looks really good.
Okay.
But I just haven't yet. Not one of these days.
Well, and to be honest, Disney Plus is my one that's like that. Like, I'll see a new Star Wars thing. I'm like, I'll check that out eventually. And I never do. Like, there's like 3 Star Wars series I want to check out. I never check out. Or I started to check out and then I forgot about it. Like that Ahsoka one.
Yeah.
I think I watched like the first episode and then I just
Never watched that.
Life happened.
I didn't watch, what was the other one they did? Right after the Boba Fett.
Oh yeah, now that I
watched like 3 episodes of that.
The ones I've seen I love. The Mandalorian was excellent. The Boba Fett was excellent. I even liked the Ben Kenobi one was really good.
That's the one. I didn't watch any of that one.
Those I really liked. The other ones are meh.
And okay, not exactly the most popular opinion. I'm not a Star Wars guy.
No.
I'd have never been a huge fan of that genre.
I'm that jack of all trades. I know Star Wars enough, but I'm not uber.
I know enough about it, exactly.
When you start showing weird characters from different planets, I'm like, I don't know who that guy is.
Right.
And even when they show the Mandalorian, they show some of the characters that are kind of ancillary, but now they're main characters here. I'm like, I have no idea.
I know that there's people out there that nerd out and they're losing it.
Yeah. So I'm not that
that's
guy.
not me.
But at the same time, I can appreciate the nerddom of it.
Absolutely.
And watch it and,
You do you.
All right, we got to go. Have an amazing weekend. Thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of your day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. Monday morning. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
See ya.
Take care, everybody.